Hello, everybody. Today, we're going to be talking about our brand new update that we made to CloneVoice.AI. So without any further delay, what is the update? What is it all about? Let's talk about that right here. So basically what we've done is we've added a brand new feature or an update, if you will, called idea to song generation V2. So let me pull that up real quick. I'll explain to you what this is. So here we go. So this is the feature, if you will. So basically the idea is that you just give it a bunch of prompts, do a bunch of styles that you can pick, and I'll show you step by step how that will work. And then you can basically generate a complete song with vocals and all that kind of good stuff. And it's all in automatic mode. All right. So pretty exciting stuff. I mean, you're going to be blown away when I show you this stuff. But this is an update, okay? So this is an update to our CloneVoice.AI application, and we've been working really hard on that to basically make it as great as possible. If you've seen our previous updates for CloneVoice, we've made the voice similarity better in terms of cloning of your voice. The podcast feature is the world's best. I mean, better than any other platform out there, like 11 Labs or whatever you can imagine. We did a demo of that. The next thing that we wanted to make it world-class is the song generation aspect of CloneVoice.AI, and that's what this really does. Now, let me show you some demos real quick, and then I'll show you how you can create it and all that kind of good stuff, and why this is so cool, okay? Because it's really hard to get the pitch, the tone, if you will, the genre, the mood, and everything of a song done from a single keyword idea, let's say, or a prompt, if you will, right? And this is where AI has gotten. It's pretty crazy if you think about it. And so let me kind of show you some demos here real quick.
We're the wildfire on the highway line. Feel the engine burning, rules and rules of past behind. Turn the volume up and let the good times grind. This freedom, brother, is forever mine.
The curtain falls upon the light. My shadow dances through the night. A silent tear, a final sigh for broken vows beneath the sky, where the ancient stones still dream and the river flows a silver stream. I follow the echo of the lost sunbeam back to the whisper in the fairies' gleam. I say free comes and you offer great you light, where the ancient stones still. This ain't my first rodeo, but it might be my last here. Trading my high heels in for boots and a cold beer. The highway's long, but the rearview mirror is clear. Gonna drive out this sadness till happiness is near.
Woke up this morning,
Sun is shining bright.
thank the Lord for guiding me through the darkest night.
Found my strength in the promise.
Found my strength in the promise.
Found my glorious light.
Hallelujah.
Can you feel the power and the might?
Hallelujah.
Break the chains that bind your soul. I cast the darkness, lose all control. The furnace roars, hear the thunder roll. We forge the fury, making the world whole. We forge the fury, make
Another glass of something slow and deep. These city lights don't let me sleep. Just the sound of the piano keys whispering sweet. How young the language of high drama. L'anima mia trema, il destino è crudele. nero. Oh, questa fiamma, questa gola. You got that rhythm in your step, baby. Makes my whole world spin like crazy. Holding back is making me hazy. Tell me what you need. Don't keep me waiting.
I'm rising from the struggle, no more going down. Every scar on my skin is my victory crown. They doubted my name, now they know the sound. I'm the fire in the night, turning pain around. Turning pain around.
Don't you worry about the rain, my friend. The sun is gonna shine again. We got the rhythm that will never end. Good vibes flowing round the bend. Don't you worry about the rain, my friend. The sun is gonna shine again. We got the rhythm that will never end. Good vibes flowing round the bend. We got the rhythm that we want shine.
All right, so let me bring myself in here. I'll bring Yashan as well in a minute or so. So the idea is, okay, there are a couple of components here. I'll show you. This is not in your CloneVoiceAI application just yet. There's a reason why for that. I'll explain to you in just a sec. So where we're going to be rolling it out, where is it going to appear and all that stuff, I'll explain to you. Because what we wanted to do is we want to do a slow rollout as we are live here, so that not everybody's just jumping on it right away. We want to make sure that you roll it out. First, I teach you how to do it, and then you use it, and then you actually kind of use it the right way, because this is a powerful feature, if you will. Okay. One thing I want to mention here real quick. You might have noticed something, okay? And I saw quite a bit of people asking this question, all right? So let's say, again, let me mute this part right now, and then I'll kind of just play this part without the audio, okay? So you look at these questions I'm coming in. How do you make them sing? Are the videos talking photos, right? How do you create the video part? The lip sync part, right? There was that question that came in as well. So the idea is I want to address that first, okay? Because creating music, we've cracked that. Of course, I'll show you where that is in CloneVoice.AI and all that kind of good stuff. If you recall, we've been harping on this aspect of integrations, right? The ecosystem and all that kind of good stuff. We've been talking about it for like the past couple of months now, how you can make usability of something, right? So imagine, let's say, for example, this one right here of the gentleman singing, right? With the mic on, you see if the lips are not even fully visible, right? So that is basically what I kind of want to mention real quick. Then I'll just talk about the feature as well and that sort of thing. Okay, cool. Because it has that importance of you understanding where we are headed, right? So basically, if that is going to be our next update coming in, which is going to be the Talking Photos update, right? A lot of you folks have been waiting for that one as well. So I'll talk about that real quick in just a sec. So that's the Talking Photos update. Remember, we did Video Express and CloneVoice.AI integration. So now you can create basically, for example, any voice they created in CloneVoice.AI, even, for example, lyrics and children's songs and stuff like that, and create like children's rhymes videos and stuff like that, right? The next we did with Artistly, where you can do nursery rhymes. There's a feature where literally you can upload a song and it creates the entire storybook and flip book and stuff like that, which you can then again bring to Video Express and turn it into a video, correct? The next obvious way, once we have perfected the music aspect, because I'll give it to you, when we released CloneVoice.ai, I would say we focused a lot more on the voice cloning and the voice part of things. A public library of voices, which is like 7,000 voices and creative voices and all that kind of stuff. One thing we didn't focus on as much as we would have liked was music, because we didn't expect so many people will use music. The aspect of music comes in two ways, right? The one is you get the music part, and then the second part is what do you do with the music file, right? So that's all about the talking photos. Yeah, we've been getting a lot of comments in our chat and our support team, our Facebook group, and stuff like that, and all about. If by the way, if you haven't ever joined our Facebook group, this is our Facebook group, right? For those who maybe just are not part of our group, that's where a lot of our community keeps talking and chatting and stuff like that. Now, basically, you have to go step by step, right? If I release or re-release Talking Photos V3, which is internally ready, we are doing some final tutorials and stuff like that, but without the music part being perfected in, say, CloneVoice.AI, this effect that I just showed you, right? Like this idea, like if you look at it, like if I put this right here of lip sync, will make no sense, right? Like if the songs are not as great, let's say as Suno.ai or one of these other platforms out there, they're not as good as it, right? Let's say. So that is why we're going in stages, step by step, okay? So first of all, what did we do? We did Video Express integration with CloneVoice.ai. Second, what did we do? Right? We did artistic integration for the storybooks aspect, so you can convert a song into, let's say, a complete story, right? Like a children's rhymes video, if you will, that you can share on YouTube, you can share on Instagram, wherever, right? Social media, Facebook. And the idea with that was basically where you can now actually visually represent something. Now, this is the next iteration, right? So basically, that's the reason why we want to roll out the music version 2.0. Okay. Again, coming back to that point, which is music version 2.0 aspect, the idea to song aspect, right? Remember I was telling you earlier, which is the latest update that we made. I'll show you how to use it and all that stuff in just a bit, because it's more important you understand how to use it than it is just use it right away and then not use the full true power of it, right? So the idea is, as you can imagine, being able to create professional, if you will, music, right? And do it in a way where you just give it an idea and it does everything, correct? So that's what we've been focused on all along, right? And so let me kind of show you real quick here. So again, bringing back this point, right? Here, I'll just give me a sec here while I remove this. Yeah. So this is the idea, right? So basically having the idea to turn it into a song. Now, after this, like once you start using it, generating the audio and the music and stuff, the next obvious way is now you want to have a singing or lip sync, if you will, and that will be Talking Photos V3. We're almost finished with that. That's going to be the next update. We're rolling it out as soon as it's ready. We won't give an exact timeline. It could be a few days from now. It could be like a week from now, whatever. But the point is that we want to make sure you understand how to use this aspect to integrate that into Talking Photos V3. And it's going to be worth the wait, okay? It's going to be worth the wait because all the demos that you see here was created with that, okay? The world's best lip sync for songs, okay? Because lip sync for voice, just by the way, is different from lip sync for songs, okay? And when it comes to vocal songs, a different structure comes into play, right? You have background music, you have vocal element, you got instrumental element in a song. You have elements where there is background chorus, but the person is not singing, right? So a lip sync algorithm has to understand all these elements and sync properly. So finally, we've been working really hard on that as well. And we wanted to include that in the Talking Photos V3. So yes, if you think about it now, the whole ecosystem makes sense, isn't it? Right? Because when we show demos and when we show stuff, the thing you have to understand is like we drink our own Kool-Aid. We're doing everything that we say we do, and then we use our own applications to make the whole thing happen. Historically, what would happen, and it's important you need to understand while I actually show you this feature and everything else, is that, you know, we will show some demos, right? Or anybody out there. And oftentimes people are like, I want that type of style, right? I want to be able to create that. And I can visualize myself that it would do really well on a TikTok or let's say Instagram Reels, or it will do well on Facebook or wherever, right? YouTube Shorts and stuff. And then the point is we've come to the realization that 99%, okay, of every other company out there, what demo they show, right, is not the actual output that you can create with the application. You can go check it, any product out there you can imagine. The reason why is a lot of these video editors and these professional people create this stuff, and then you get disappointed that, hey, I show this snazzy demo, but I'm not able to create it, right? And that's what we wanted to avoid, okay? And to be able to do that, you have to go step by step, right? So that you don't just like completely push everything out there and then like say, okay, now you go figure it out, okay? So that's the basic idea with this feature, okay, specifically that I wanted to mention here is oftentimes, we try to release stuff. We want to make you happy. And, obviously we get feedback from you and we want to do a lot of the cool things and give as much value as possible. But sometimes we have to wait. Okay. We have to wait because we want to make sure that our other applications as well are updated properly so that together everything makes sense. Okay. And this has been our work for the last couple of years now. It's very, very difficult, challenging work because everybody should be aligned with each other, right? So for example, now you have, for example, artistic developers in line with Video Express developers in line with, for example, the developers of Clone Voice, right? All the whole team, Click Sites, the new update coming on that one very soon, working really hard on that one. So what happens now is that all of these together will completely make sense to you where you don't have to use another application ever again. Now, the main thing I wanted to mention here, and this is, I appreciate everybody coming into the live training sessions like these and stuff like that. You're all excited and you're posting feedback. And we actually, what we do is we see every single comment, even the ones we cannot answer right away. What I do and our team does is like we go behind the scenes and we actually export every single comment and read and discuss among ourselves. And then we put it into a checklist because what we are realizing is the old traditional roadmaps, right? Where a bunch of people vote stuff doesn't make any sense in the AI world because some things are more important than the others. And more importantly, some are faster to create than others, right? And sometimes, two people might be asking for a feature, but in reality, that feature would impact 100% of people. Like, for example, this V2 update for song making impacts 100% of CloneVoice.AI users, correct? So now, let me ask you a question, right? Well, before I get to the features and stuff, because they'll all come in line, because I don't want to just show you how to create this songs, but how to bring it all together. How do you get results from it, right? How do you get an outcome from it? So we are trying to create a movement, okay? I know it sounds all crazy and stuff, but I want you to understand. The movement is basically where we want to be a platform or a company, if you will, who wants to create value for you, where we create the free updates, we give you for a one-time payment, and also do it in a way where we take your feedback and keep improving things. And we want to basically tell you that, hey, look, you have 11 labs here, you have Clone Voice here, the cloning will be equal quality. You have Suno AI here, and you got Clone Voice here for music, let's say, almost same, right? And then if it's not, hey, we'll work on improving it, right? And that means that you can cancel subscriptions, which are expensive. Like, for example, and then the credits, and this pesky credits and stuff like that. And even when we put let's say fair use limits, we're always tweaking it such that 99.99% users never get impacted. And all we see with these AI companies out there is, first of all, and you agree with me, tell me, let me know, right? Even though they're monthly subscriptions, right? They have this problem where like what they actually show and what actually happens doesn't apply. Like they'll say consistent character video, and then when you're actually uploading your own photo and trying to create a consistent character video, it never works. They say, okay, you can create, say for example, clone your own voice, and you can do it in multiple languages. You try it to make your voice speak in another language, never works, right? What is said to what actually works doesn't work, no matter how big the company is, right? You probably tested all the stuff I'm trying to explain to you. So what's happening right now is the movement we're talking about is very important that I mentioned this to you. We have decided, a lot of times we've seen the scenario where like, people always ask us, okay, what's the goal? What's the vision? What's the plan going forward? And oftentimes, we will say, well, this company used to do it this way, where they will say one-time payment and then they will, for every update, they'll charge money, right? Or this company will say, okay, we'll give that and then it's a recurring subscription after the year or for whatever, right? Users who end up getting the newer version or the AI updated version or whatever. You've seen all the applications out there. And we didn't know where we fit in, right? In this thought process. So what we're realizing now, and now we got a grasp of things, is that we can confidently be in a scenario where we have the team, right? First of all, and we also have the community, which was really exciting for us for CloneVoice.AI, the product I'm talking about right now. One of the ways we've actually improved the application itself was we got feedback, right? We have 35 people from 35 different nationalities actually help us fine tune our language algorithms, right? So what's going to happen is in the future, as we're working with these 35 folks and more every single day we're adding, we're adding multilingual voice cloning. Tomorrow, we're going to add multilingual, not tomorrow, as in like in the future, right? As we optimize things, we're going to be adding multilingual songs now that we've done it in English perfectly, right? And that community was something that we didn't have before in the past, let's say a couple of years ago, right? So what that means, in other words, that I want to mention here is this is all good, right? The features we're releasing and all that kind of stuff, it's exciting and all that. But what we want to make sure is, I'd say we are the only company left, okay, in the market which is actually providing for one-time payment, giving updates for free, and AI updates out every week now. And then the third thing is we're not actually charging hidden credits, a hidden pro tier plan, or all of the mumbo jumbo stuff, right? What that means, in other words, is that you can be rest assured that the platforms will keep getting better and better with time. And more importantly, they'll be state of the art in what they do. Now, that being said, the next obvious iteration then becomes how do we merge all of them together and make each of the application communicate with each other, right? So for example, if I created this song, now I showed you the demo here, right? For example, like this, right? This is the opera music. Now, how do you make that song lip sync, right? This is basically where we're talking about, right? The next generation of talking photos V3 will allow you to do this. Now, the other thing could be like, hey, I want to create children's rhymes videos. That we did that with Video Express already. If you haven't, go watch the tutorials page of CloneVoice.AI, right? In the application. So basically, the idea is that we get a complete end-to-end solution through all the applications working alongside with each other. And the beauty here is that also allows us to actually provide more value to you, because the sad fact is, if say you buy an 11 Labs or Suno, where do you get the lip sync? Oh, now you got to go buy another product, right? Now that product might only work really well with voices, not with songs in terms of lip sync. Now you got to go buy another application which does songs lip sync, like this, right? What I'm showing you right now, the example. So that wastes a lot of your time, first of all. And second of all, the problem is that now you have to test that if it's going to work or not, right? For that specific style of song. Maybe we've tested, I'll tell you. Majority of the lip sync with songs platforms out there only work if it's a vocal, not when there's an actual music behind it, right? Which again kind of defeats the purpose. Every single song has background music, score, instrumentals, right? So little details, okay, of usability and making things work the right way so you can actually get results. That's what we've been focused on, okay? And that clarity is very important that I stress before I show this feature and the other ones as well down the line, because then you can be rest assured that we are doing the testing part for you. Okay, we know what are all the 100 applications with AI out there and which ones actually don't work, so you don't have to waste your time on them, and money also, because time and money both, right, factor in here. And what's happening right now, we're seeing more and more, is every single application out there, which is this venture capital backed companies out there. The sad fact is they're all moving into enterprise space, right? Medium market, what they call. In other words, what that means is like they're more and more saying, hey, you're not important to us. Like if you're paying $20 a month or whatever, we're going to limit you, right? On how many you can do, what you can do, what you can do, because we're not even care. Like our investors want us to focus on that $100 a month, $300 a month, or yearly, or team plans where each team member will be charged and stuff, right? So I want you to understand that we are very, very seriously making sure that when we are making these updates, we're looking at the bigger picture in mind, trying to make the lip sync work. So for those who joined in late, let me actually do that demo right here of this new update we've made. Then I'll show you basically how. Again, I'll not do the whole demo, but I'll just show you real quick. And then I'll go in and show you where it is located and all that. We don't have it rolled out in your accounts yet. It will be rolled out while we're live here, because we're basically rolling it out step by step in accounts and stuff, like making sure that you know how to use this feature first, okay? That's very important. All right. So this is the demo real quick for those who joined late, in case you missed it, and those who didn't, who missed some parts of it as well, just to show you. Okay. So this is a new feature. Okay. And this is the output. Of course, the lip sync part, just again, referencing, that will be part of the Talking Photos V3 update coming up. Okay. We're almost done with that. So that's the next aspect. Again, I'll cover this so that there's no confusion. Okay. So in Talking Photos, what you can do is you can lip sync these songs, okay, when we do that update. All right, so in Clone Voice, this is the update, okay? Pay attention to the categories here, okay? Because in V1, or the previous version, we had fewer categories. And one of the things that was occurring as well in the category was sometimes, the opera song was not exactly like opera. We hear you. We get all feedback. We're clear on that, right? So check this out here. This is the demo.
Weary the wildfire on the highway line. Feel the engine burning, rules and rules of past behind. Turn the volume up and let the good times grind. This freedom, brother, is forever mine.
The curtain falls upon the light. My shadow dances through the night. A silent tear, a final sigh for broken vows beneath the sky.
Real quick to add again, okay, to those who joined in late, you see what you can do with this update. Again, it'll be rolled out in your accounts in just a bit. You see that part about that, the person singing and stuff, that will be part of Talking Photos V3 update, okay? So if you own Talking Photos, that update will come where you can sync a song. So meaning you have a Clone Voice song, you have Talking Photos, you can sync and do stuff like this, okay? And we're going a step above that. I won't want to reveal all the secrets and fun stuff available. We're going even above that, okay? It's going to blow you away when you see that update. We've been waiting for that update for a while. We wanted to wait until this songs feature got updated in Clone Voice so that you have the best song system, right? Equal or on par, let's say, to Suno or some platforms like that. And then now you can use the Clone Voice, which does the best cloning of the voice, best podcast feature and stuff. And then, of course, Talking Photos with you for the lip sync of both songs and actually voice as well. Okay, clear? Let me know in the chat box if it's clear, right? So now let me keep continuing this demo here. So those who join in late or miss some of the parts, look at the categories, okay? These are the categories we're adding in. And of course, when you have more of them, you suggest we'll keep adding them in. And this is some of them, you have more of them as well.
Where the ancient stones still dream and the river flows a silver stream, I follow the echo of the lost sunbeam back to the whisper in the fairies' gleam. I say free comes and you offer great you light where the ancient stones still. This ain't my first rodeo, but it might be my last here. Treading my high heels in for boots and a cold beer. The highway's long, but the rearview mirror is clear. Gonna drive out this sadness till happiness is near.
Woke up this morning,
Sun is shining bright.
thank the Lord for guiding me through the darkest night.
Well, let me pause that real quick, okay? Again, I want to stress this point in. So you see how this gentleman here, let me just put this one up, right? So he has the mic here, like so. You see, like the mic is literally covering the lips. So in the Talking Photos V3, we accounted for this aspect, which was the hardest thing we had to do. Just a fun note for you. That's why I'm so excited about that update as well. Is that what happens, right? When you cover the lips with like a mic or something like that, you're speaking, and then your lips are covered. Lip sync, whether it's a song or even a voice, it's very difficult because we don't have lips to detect, right? So we spend the last several months just to figure out this use case, okay? This is why people always ask us, I want the update right now. I want Talking Photos V3 right now. Oh, I want it right now. Some edge cases like this, we got to figure out before we release it, right? So you see that gentleman there? He keeps moving, right? The mic is on once like this, mic moves around, mic is on, mic moves around, sometimes shaking his head, sometimes moving around like this. And this is a known issue. If you look at any of the platforms out there which do any kind of spokesperson or lip sync kind of stuff, is when an object comes in the middle, it has problems, right? You can test it. You'll see what I'm talking about. A lot of the top platforms out there. And this took us many, many months. Okay, it's fun fact, okay? I just wanted to explain to you why some things take longer to update, because we have users from around the world. We have people using it for different use cases and stuff like that, like gospel music like this one, right? Obviously is in a stage, in a church environment, that sort of stuff, right? So we're accounting for stuff like this. Is that clear? All right, so let me continue here.
Found my strength in the promise.
Found my strength in the promise.
Found my glory.
chains that bind your soul. I guess the darkness lose all control.
Yeah, one real quick thing while I'll just mute this for a sec. You see how here the hands are moving, right? So if you notice here carefully, right? And then he turned around. See this? Turns around and facing this way, right? So this is another thing, which is a very difficult thing to crack with lip sync. Okay, by the way, having movements and also adding song lip sync and stuff like that. Again, a fun fact for you, because sometimes, I want to stress these aspects to you. For those who join in, sometimes they might not be paying attention to the AI space and all the complexities that occur with the AI space and stuff like that. When a lot of movements occurring like this, people are moving their head around and stuff, lip sync is very difficult, especially for songs on top of just voice alone, right? So little details, okay, that I want to mention here real quick. That's another reason why when we roll out the Talking Photos V3 update, which will work hand in hand with the Clone Voice.AI and this new feature we're going to be talking about, which is not released yet. We're rolling it out in your account shortly. I'll explain to you how this feature works and all that kind of stuff in just a second. Now, here's the thing, okay, that I wanted to mention here real quick, okay? So let me play this real quick again. So do you see what I'm talking about here? How much work goes behind the scenes to fix some of these edge cases, right? And what we're noticing is like, it's not just about, okay, I released this feature, go ahead, go use it. Or even, hey, we have a music V2.0 update, we added these extra categories. It's like, okay, now users will ask us naturally, how do we lip sync and do the demos you're showing, right? So how do we make that work? So we're thinking in like, let's say 3-dimension, right? In 3D, let's say, for example, in multiple ways, how everything will integrate with each other. Is that clear? Because I want to explain to you where the future is headed, right? It's not just about one solution. It's like, how do we bring everything together to get results specifically, all right? So let's play this one more time.
We forge the fury.
Another glass of something slow.
Yes, Karen. Okay. To answer your question, is it the upcoming Talking Photos? Yeah. Okay. We kind of leaked the secret because so many people were asking. I just want to mention. So yeah, that's the reason why it's been in the works for many months now, because we haven't accounted for stuff like this where a person is basically angled in a way. There's a lot of different vocal styles, right? Rock music and heavy metal is different from heavy metal has a lot more bass in it, right? Or bass, let's say. Some people, depending on the world you're in, a lot of heavy instruments, right? So sometimes lip sync is harder there, right? All right. So hip hop, similar, right? And sometimes with opera, we've noticed that the lips have to stretch a lot more for a song because when you're having an opera singer. So yes, that will be coming up very soon. Again, Talking Photos V3. I don't want to talk too much about it just now because, but since so many people are asking us, I might as well explain that. Yeah. So that's going to be our next big update team is working on right now. Almost done. Okay, so probably I'll not say an exact date because then, I don't want to rush it by a couple of days and then having some bug occur or something, some edge case where it doesn't work for something. So we want to do thorough testing, but it'll be rolling out any minute now. Okay, any day now. It could be next week, it could be a few days later than that or a few days earlier, any minute. Okay, that's the top priority right now because we want to basically update this idea to song and then work on that next. Okay, is that clear? All right. So another thing while I'm showing you these demos, and then I'll show you how the app, the feature works and stuff because it's not rolled out in all your accounts. Okay, by the way, because I want to show you the true power of it before you start using it. Right? Okay. So these are just some of the categories. We have a lot more. Based on your request, we'll be adding a lot more in. The thing that we are trying to aim for here, and I kind of want to mention this in more detail, is we want to do it within the legal framework as well. So everything we're doing within Clone Voice, we want to make sure, like if you see some of these platforms, I won't name them, but they've been sued by the record labels and stuff like that for basically, taking some popular celebrity or singer's voice and stuff and that sort of thing. So we wanted to kind of do a more slower rollout, keeping some of these in mind. So you also have a platform that'll be available long term, not something that we just do it because somebody else did it without knowing the full legality of that feature, let's say. Okay, so we're looking at some of these things, but taking a little bit more careful approach. Okay, so categories and some of these as well, we're keeping a close eye on that before we release it. Okay, so enough without any delay. Let's just go ahead with this demo a little bit here for those who joined late or missed some of these categories. There's some, there are more, by the way.
Indeed. Another glass of something slow. 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 city lights don't let me sleep. Just the sound of the piano keys whispering sweet. How young the language of high drama. Ahir l'anima mia trema. Il destino è crudele e nero. Oh, questa fiamma, questa gola. You got that rhythm in your step, baby. Makes my whole world spin like crazy. Holding back is making me hazy. Tell me what you need. Don't keep me waiting.
I'm rising from the struggle, no more going down. Every scar on my skin is my victory crown. They doubted my name, now they know the sound. I'm the fire in the night, turning pain around. Turning pain around.
Don't you worry about the rain, my friend. The sun is gonna shine again. We got the rhythm that will never end. Good vibes flowing around the bend. Don't you worry about the rain, my friend. The sun is gonna shine again. We got the rhythm that will never end. Good vibes flowing around the bend. We got the rhythm that we want shine.
All right, cool. So now let me just talk about something real quick here. While we roll out this feature out to you folks any minute now, because some of the questions I've been getting, I want to answer them as well. So we made this as easy as possible to use, okay? And then the second thing that we've done also on top of that is that we've actually gone ahead looking at the integration part in mind. So keeping that in mind, I want to kind of show you something really cool here, right? So in the Clone Voice application, okay, so if you go here to the top, right, first of all, you can go to the three dots. You'll see some other features here as well, right? My podcast and my voices, blah, 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 right? But if you see here on the top, you see support and tutorials. So let me kind of highlight this part for you here. This is the tutorials page. So for those of you, I understand some of us are busy. Some of us don't pay close attention to the AI trends or what even we are doing. So go to the tutorials page. I want to kind of show you where we are headed. Okay. So remember I spoke about the integrations with, say, artistic integration with Clone Voice and Video Express and the coming up Talking Photos one, which we're actively working on. That's the big one. Like, look at this. This is the integrations tab, you see? So let me show you here. This integrations tab is in the tutorials page of CloneVoice.AI, right? So when you scroll down, you see this integrating Clone Voice and artistic AI. Okay, how does the integration work? What do you need to do? And basically, what are the automation steps here? Okay, that is number one. Now you see this. This is here, Video Express with Artisty and Clone Voice.AI integration. Okay, for those who haven't, please make sure you watch it. I created it for you so that you know how to bring the whole thing together. And, sometimes I understand spending that 10, 15, 20 minutes to watch these is kind of not as fun thing to do. You might as well still use the application, but it's one of those things where you use it once and you're set. You don't have to touch it again. Right? So that's what we're aiming for here. Okay. So that you can get it. And then of course, these masterclass trainings are also posted like the one we're doing right now. So because I want to stress this point, which is basically when we roll out these features, they're looking at it where you want to basically see, okay, first question you should be asking is, does some of these features, how would that apply to our lip sync and say Talking Photos, or how would that apply for video creation in Video Express, let's say, okay? And some of these aspects. And why I'm telling you this is, please understand, this is the number one biggest issue with AI right now. Okay, what is the issue? The issue is people are literally releasing a product or an update or something every single day, and you have to waste your time trying to figure out what's the use case for that. And then oftentimes you hear, oh, you want music, go get Suno. Or you want let's say cloning your voice or whatever, use say for example 11 Labs. Or you want lip sync, or use this lip sync platform. Or you want for example songs in particular, you turn a song into a video, use this other platform. And the problem becomes now, how do you make the whole thing come together? Okay, I created a song now. How do I create a lip sync? Okay, I created a clone of my voice now. I want to create a video from it. How do I do that? I created a children's rhyme right now. How do I create like a video out of it so that I can publish on YouTube as a children's educational channel or something like that, right? And the situation becomes where you give up because nobody is sitting and saying, okay, look, you don't need to buy all these other tools. You don't even have to use and test it. Just watch this one video. Isn't that worth it for you? Because all these so-called influencers these days, and it's frustrating for me because I get sponsorship opportunities or whatever you like to call them all the time to advertise or whatever. And what we're realizing is all these people, they create a video. Hey, this is the greatest, latest lip sync feature for songs. And then they just imagine what all it can do, and then they say, okay, go check it out, and then they disappear, right? They move on to the next product or whatever, and then you go and test it, even if it's a free trial for you to test with all kinds of limitations. You're like, okay, but it doesn't do what it says it does. I tried a song with, let's say, a vocal with background music or whatever. It's not working. I tried a multilingual voice, right? That I generated, like it's in Spanish, Italian, whatever, German. But lip sync doesn't work for multilingual. See, these are the issues that we are seeing every single day. And 90% of our time is spent on this right now, honestly, right? Where we're trying to, users suggest us a feature. And then we say, okay, which application or who's done that, no matter how big the company, by the way, and you're trying to replicate that. And then we're like, well, this feature doesn't work at all. Like even the demo video doesn't go deep into consistency of a character, let's say, similarity of the face, let's say, or similarity of the cloned voice. It's actually hilarious in a way, how lack of attention to detail in industry, right? So definitely watch this stuff if you haven't already. Okay, so make sure that you basically pay attention to these things, because it's one thing that we add a feature, but it's another thing where you're not actually doing this whole thing together. Okay, now, so what I'm going to do now, okay, is I'm going to show you this feature, how it will roll out. When it's going to be live, I'm going to show you effectively how it will appear for you. Okay. And it's going to be live while we're live, because I want to make sure that our team releases it right now, today. But I want to show you first how this works, okay? And how we simplified this. All right. So here's the major thing, okay, to understand. First of all, keep in the back of your mind, again, okay, how the integrations will work. Don't worry too much about, okay, this demo has this and stuff, okay? Because coming back to the point, what is the goal here? What is the ultimate goal here? If I go into CloneVoice.AI, the main application, right? What's the goal here? As a CloneVoice.AI customer, you'll be asking us, right? Hey, I saw these demos, right? Cloning of voice demos. I saw like this abstract character speaking, let's say, right? Like this owl, or I don't know, like let's say Barbie, this witch talking, right? I saw these demos. I want to be able to create stuff like this, right? That's the obvious question you should be asking every platform out there who have any kind of demo like this. If it's a voice platform, but they have video demos, you'd be asking, how do I create that video? And then all of them are telling, go buy some other tool, right? And you don't even know if that tool is good. Now you have to go try 5 tools, 10 tools. Who has the time and the money, right? So same thing with this example, right? So this is what I'm talking about. When you think about it in the back of your mind, it's not just the feature, it's the outcome we're talking about, right? So you want to have a lip sync video like this. That's what Talking Photos V3 we're coming up with, right? So same logic, okay? For all the stuff you see here. Again, this is song to music creator. Remember we did this where we showed you in this video, again, coming back to the point, this example, right? Like I'll show you. Let me show you if that will play here. This one, right? This one right here. Remember this one right here? This is the one where we did the integration with Video Express. So if you're going to the tutorials page, again, I'll play it real quick just so you understand real quick. So I did this video, right? I'll show you real quick. So we did the actual artistly generate all these images. Then I put them into Video Express like so, you see? And then I turned them into, as you can see here, right? The videos right here, see? Simple, straightforward. Now that is the outcome, right? It's not just a voice you're creating or a song you're creating, but you're creating a video out of it. So this is the end result thing that we're focusing on right now. Does that make sense? Is that clear? I try to make it as simple as possible for you to understand. Okay. Now, so this is the feature that we're releasing. And first, let me show you how it is, and I'll show you when we can roll it out, when you're going to get access to it and stuff. The idea is to roll it out today, right? While you're live here. Okay, so this is the idea to song generator, okay? This is a new update. So first of all, let me show you how it appears in your account now and what will be the update after, okay? So this is your account, right? So when you go into CloneVoice.ai, this is the main application, correct? So when you're in the application here, right? So when you're going to create music, this is the old approach, correct? So let me actually be very clear so you understand how the old one works. Then we'll talk about what the new update is that you're getting access to works like. This is the old system, correct? So let me explain what we did differently than what was there before, correct? Okay. So the old system, okay, and Yash is here as well. Hey, Yash, you
Hey
can mute
everybody,
yourself.
how's everyone doing today? Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
So you show the before, I'll show them the after.
Okay, cool. Perfect. So,
Yeah, you're
and I'll show
showing
you
them.
what the issues were before. We'll be transparent with you because we don't want to
Yeah.
make sure like what we did, what we improved based on your feedback, right? So this is the
Yep.
old system. All right. So the old system, right? If you think about it here, so what it really did is like you see this right here. Okay. So
Yep.
we had children's
Let's
rhymes,
try.
kids
Let's
rhymes.
try any genre you want, just to compare, right? Now you can try
Sure.
jazz. You can try jazz. Yeah.
I'll try opera. What do
Oh,
you think?
okay. Good. Yeah, yeah,
Okay. Let's say opera about women empowerment, let's say, right? There's all the
yeah,
lovely ladies here today. All right. So,
yep,
all right. Opera song.
yep.
Okay. So best generate, well, I'll put whatever. And then lyrics were AI generated. Okay. So again, folks, for those who are new to this feature, I've not used this feature before. So I picked opera, the topic, the genre, let's say here. And then I picked lyrics type is AI generated because I am not a lyric writer. I have no clue how to write lyrics. And then I talked about opera song about women empowerment, which is the topic. Okay. Can you about anything really? I just had thought in my mind, right? Okay. Click create lyrics. And then what it does is it generates us the lyrics in that format. You see the verse one, chorus, verse two, chorus, bridge. I don't even know what bridge is. I'm sorry, I'm not a music person, right? I've just had took one class of music in school, so I'm not sure what bridge means. Chorus, I know. Outro, okay? So that's the output, correct? This was basically the flow. Now, again, if you didn't like something, you can remove it. If you like something, you can keep it. You get the point, right? And so in the before, one of the other things that we were seeing quite a people mention is, hey, look, the chorus, sometimes we don't have multi-chorus setup, let's say, for example. Even sometimes what we were noticing is, you see this right here, 1480 out of 1,000 characters. That was not something we were happy about either. Some small integrity stuff with operas and stuff, right? So sometimes you gotta delete stuff and all that, right? So we kind of clean that up. So anyways, opera, song, women, empowerment, right? This was the old system. You just click on it and then you just generate music, right? So even though it said 1,400, whatever, out of 1,000, it still worked, but why would it show up like that? Not very cool, right? All right. So now it would generate the music. Okay. Now I don't know we can play it. Let me test it. Okay. If sometimes, these things, I don't know if it'll play while we are live here. All right. Let me try. Let's see if audio can be played. Let me see. Yeah. All right, let's see if it can play or it's not capable of playing. No, it only accepts videos, eh? Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna basically
Yeah.
download it and put like some big black screen or something and do it. Yeah, just give me a
Yep.
sec, okay?
While
While
you
I'm
do
doing
that,
it, yeah,
I
you can
will
go ahead
show the
a little
new.
bit. Yeah.
Let's talk about the new update. All right, pretty excited.
Yeah, one
All
thing
right.
I want to mention. So, a couple of things people mentioned as well for the old one. One was that we improved, obviously. Was I want to mention here real quick that we went ahead and fixed, obviously, with a new one. So here, you see, category sometimes didn't sound like that category was one suggestion, and then the second thing was sometimes very small period of time when you were generating a song, it was getting cut off halfway through or like the last 10 seconds or the last 5 seconds or whatever. Sometimes it was not matching the lyrics in the end. And then the most biggest one was like, give me more categories, because I don't see hip hop here. I don't see rap here. I don't see a lot of the other categories here as well, right? And some of these like rock plus jazz didn't sound like rock plus jazz, sound more like jazz, for example. So we hear you, okay? So we fixed all that stuff with version 2, okay? So yeah, Yash, go ahead here while I do this stuff
All
here.
All right, everybody. I hope everyone can see my screen. Paul, I'll remove your screen from there and I'll show this. All right, everybody. So just wanted to mention, hi, I am here, and I just want to mention few things. My camera is acting weird. Anyways, few things that we fixed. Number one, added new genres. Number two, drastically improved the quality of each genre and specifically. Number three, we give you the ability to upload your own lyrics. Number four, uh, later down the line we will add more genres from what you like. With all these things we request you one thing, right? Because it's a major massive update that we rolled out, right? It's going to take some time, meaning it's going to take anywhere between from that right now 24 hours as you see in your account, because we want to do it properly. We want to make sure that you don't get bad results, and I guess 24 hours you can, and you can enjoy that in the or during the in the weekend while creating this music. Today I want to show you how to do that. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen and we'll reveal the Create Music version 2, the brand new upgrade that Paul has been hyping about in the last 15 minutes, right? So let's talk about that, right? Does this worth the hype? Let's see that. All right. So what are we gonna do is I'm gonna zoom in on so I'm gonna show you. All right. So I go to Create Music now, all right, and I see this genre tab. All right, I'm just gonna refresh my screen. There's a version 2, there's a toggle option now, right? As you can see, there's a toggle option. You can toggle back to version 2. Took your feedback, guys, because you wanted some people, to give you both ability so you yourself can also see before and after. That's number one. Number two, in the genre category we added heavy metal, all the demos that you're seeing, all the examples: 60s rock, 70s rock, 80s rock, 50s rock, Celtic, classical, gospel, R&B, hip hop, opera, meditative, lullaby, and kids rhyme. All the genres that have, if you remember, I posted in our group what genres you want. Most of you guys said that. We added them all. If you guys want more, let me know in the comment section. We'll work on them, right? So the idea is very simple now. Okay, so lyric type, are you the person who wants to generate from idea to lyrics? You pick this option. Or if you are the person who wants custom, like I have written my own song, right? I wanted to I want to meet like a song out of it, right? So for you that's a custom lyric, right? So now, excuse me. So what you do is you pick AI generated because I just have any idea, right? Now, genre, let's go to, let's say opera, right? And let's put something. So, okay, opera song about women, women empowerment. All right. Now, that's one thing, right? What you're gonna do, you click on this, create the lyric. AI is gonna magically finish the lyric or create the lyric for you, just like this, with proper verse, and chorus. You don't like something, you can always regenerate by clicking here. Okay, which is going to allow you to give you more options, more capabilities. All right, so I'm just going to give it a name, saying, let's say I'm going to give it a name, opera song training, like we are just here in the training. Click on read and generate music. That is it, right? Let me just, I don't know why it fell. Anyways, so that is it. Or it will take its time. It will show you the version. It will show you the genre, and it will take anywhere between a minute or two or whatever. Like, it can take up to five, whatever minutes, few minutes here and there, to kind of generate the song for you. And let's hear it together. Once Paul is done with that video, we'll show you this part, this song as well, and I hope I can play that. But we'll show you this song. But while we were discussing, right? So while Paul was showing that, I was just testing with all these genres, what were working, what were not working. We have Celtic, reggae, and jazz song, heavy metal, right? Now, based on its time it will take, there's one interesting thing, right? You can play, let's say I'm gonna play a 50s rock music song, okay? Let's play it. Opera is also done. Let's play that, okay? Let's see. I know like this. So we're gonna show that again, right? Now
Now,
you can click on I button to view your lyric. You can copy it, you can reuse them. Now what you can do is you can also click on this recycle option or this regenerate option. What it's gonna do, it's gonna take you to the old page, and we'll just click on that again and generate music. What it's gonna do, it's gonna create a variety of that song, like a different variation of uh, variation of the song, so that, for example, the tone you didn't like for this, or let's say the instrument that we're playing you didn't like it, you can create as many variations you want, right? Let me play the 50s rock, for example, right?
yeah, I think to hear it, it's a little bit difficult. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the old version and then I'll play some of the demos we created earlier, right? So the
Yep.
old one, let me kind of play. Again, it's rudimentary because I had to do it live here to for the you
Yep.
folks to see it, okay?
In shadows we have dwelled, our voices hushed and low. A world designed for others, where seeds of doubt we'd sow. But silence breaks like thunder, a tempest starts to rise, with strength within our spirits, reflected in our eyes. We are the daughters of the moon, the daughters of the sun. Our power is awakening, our victory.
Real quick, okay? Again, sounds more like a pop song. This is why we're saying old version, right? Sounds a little bit like a pop song in my opinion. With opera, you're looking at more like, I mean, I'll show you a demo of the new version, okay? So the older version had this other issue where in opera, you don't have this kind of background music, generally speaking. So it was working fine 50% of the time, not so much. We hear you, okay? We did hear your feedback, okay? So again, not to bore you, I'll just play you another 10 seconds and I'll show you the new version output. You can compare how an opera song would sound like in real terms. I mean, in terms of the new update, okay? But it's important. What was the before? What was the after, okay? So again, let me play 10 more seconds here.
Victory has begun. No longer shall we falter. No longer shall we bend. A symphony of courage. Our spirit shall transcend.
Yeah, very much like a pop song. Now, this is the new version. Remember I showed you earlier.
On the language of high drama, ahil anima mia trema, il destino è crudele e nero. Oh, questa fiamma, questa you got.
So again, so just want to stress, you let me know in the chat box. The newer one sounds like opera, the old one. Old one, even the instrumental in the background music doesn't sound like an opera song, right? It sounds more like a pop song, I would say. Little details matter, right? You know what I mean? I see people posting some categories and some things that they wanted us to check. We'll definitely look into it. As I said, every single comment that we receive after the live stream that we are in finishes, we go and export and we check every single one of them. So don't worry if we didn't answer your question here or whatever, it means that we'll definitely check it. So let me know in the chat box, okay? Which one was sounded more like opera? The new version one, or the old one, right? Of course, everybody's saying the new one, right? So this is the new version update, okay? So before and after, subtle details, okay? For some of you, it doesn't matter much, but if you're trying to say, okay, look, I want to create an opera song, every little detail matters, right? Including the background score, including the pitch, the tonality, the pacing of that audio and stuff like that, right? So of course, I see a lot of people saying new. All right, now let me show you the other category that we did a test on, okay? Now, before I do that though, just real quick, what I want to mention here is effectively what I did is just in the application, I just picked the category, right? In the old version, the old opera, and then the old, let's say another category that I did was basically a rock song, okay? So if you go into my screen real quick, so like here, So I just said type music, high school breakup rock song. So this is the old version. Okay, again. So let me show you the old version's rock song example, so that we can go straight to that. One sec. All right. So like we have the opera here. Yeah, there we go. This is the old rock song. Okay. Again, subtle differences with the new one. What's the new one? I'll show that as well. All right. So let's play this.
Remember whispered promises in crowded halls. Now just echoes bouncing off these empty walls. We walked hand in hand, thought our love would never fade. A perfect picture in a life we made. But high school sweethearts, we were never be. The final bell ring, setting our hearts free. Torn pages, chapters sweet. Goodbye, a bittersweet goodbye. Underneath the bleachers, where our true love used to lie. Late night calls, playing phone calls, and bold.
All right. I mean, continue going on. I'll play it one more time. I want to show the comparison. But do you notice something interesting here? When it comes to rock music, there's multiple categories, okay? Under rock. The reason why is you got 60s rock, 70s rock, 80s rock. Depending on which era you're from, instruments were slightly different. And there was like the electric guitar came in, and that was very popular at a certain era. Those are music aficionados, let's say. You folks understand what I'm talking about. So what we did here, the new version, okay, I'll show you the new version. We've created subcategories, okay, 60s rock, 70s rock, 80s rock, blah, 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 right? You get the point. Let me show you an example of that real quick.
I think, yeah.
We're the wildfire on the highway line. Feel the engine burning, rules and rules are passed behind. Turn the volume up and let the good times grind. This freedom, brother, is forever mine.
So this is what I want to mention about the electric guitar thing. You see, that era was very popular, the electric guitar. Okay, so that's the before and after, right? So a little bit, like I'd say even the audio in the old version was not that great. All right, now Yash, okay, are you ready with the release? What is the new version? Let's see.
Yeah, I think let's being transparent, right? Because I think I can now share my screen with audio. Can you add my screen? 1 second.
Yeah.
All right, let me play 50s raw, yeah?
The jukebox humming low and sweet saw you across the crowded street. My heart went thumping like a drunkard, casting you that my lonely days were done. Oh, shake it up, baby, all night long. This rhythm is where we belong. Just twist and shout, don't miss a beat. Yeah, you knock me right off my feet.
Like, what's the other one, the opera one too?
The velvet curtain of night is torn silent.
Yeah, I think this one is the old version still. So I think we gotta show the one. Yeah, so this is still the old version. Yeah, that's what I was trying to tell you. Remember? Yeah. All right. So cool. Okay. When we so I'll kind of show you a couple of things, guys. Okay, beforehand while we release that, roll it out. Okay, because the old versus the new, we had a lot of updates here, and one of the things we want to make sure is that when we roll out that update, it makes a lot more. Obviously, these little nuances are corrected and there, right? So okay, now check this out. All right. So let me show you something cool. All right. So let me share my screen here real quick. All right. All right. So check this out. Okay. So in the old version, so I have both here, right? As I told you before. So in the old version, what we did, okay. So you see, we had categories here. We did this way, and Opera was not, as I told you, right? Some categorization was off. Okay. And as Yash told you right now, see, sometimes you can't even tell the difference between the old and the new, right? That's what I was mentioning to you earlier. All right. So in the new one, what we did is I'll show you here. This is in my little private access that I have here that you can check. So check this out here. So what we did is something like this. Okay. So it'll have a toggle like this. So it says version 2. It's going to be in beta because we're still testing it and fine tuning certain things behind the scenes, obviously, because we got to look at categories and stuff. So it'll have a toggle like this in your account. If it's not in your account like this, that means that we didn't release V2 for your account. Is that clear? But it's going to be a free update for all users. Okay. So let me repeat that again. It'll be a free update to people who already have this feature. Let's say you're a CloneVoice customer, you already have music feature available. This will be a free update for you. That's why we're taking our time to make it a proper rollout, right? Now, the second thing, and if you see any bugs and stuff, let us know, all right? Because that's why we are doing this live stream like this. So we want to make sure that you're familiar. All right. So you'll see here 50s rock, 60s rock, 70s rock, ballet, which was not there before, heavy metal, hip hop, which was not there before, lullaby was not there before, meditative and reggae and all this stuff, correct? Gospel was not there before. So now the thing that we've done unique here is we've made everything easy and automatic. Okay. So for example, in opera generally, okay, depending on the lyrics, the actual singer gender would matter, correct? Say for example, let's say if you look at opera about women empowerment, most likely it'll be a female opera singer. So we've automated that. You don't even have to pick the gender anymore. We made it super automated depending on what the lyrics are here. Okay, you see this? Right here. And for those who don't have it yet, yeah. So what we are doing is we're making sure the rollout. So when you see this in your account, like this V2 thing, it means it's rolled out. All right. First of all, second thing is because it's in beta, not everything will be perfect. Just want to be clear with you folks. If you see something is off or something, let us know as well. We roll it out in a bit. Now, see the categories are like this. Okay, that's the second thing that we've done. So we've added more categories here, obviously, and we're going to keep adding more of them. The reason why we picked this, folks, just so you know, instead of allowing you to just upload a category or whatever, is again, there's this. Let's say you upload a song. Let's say, for example, we've connected with some of our legal folks out there just to get some advice, and they've basically mentioned that is the reason why a lot of these AI song maker companies are getting sued is, when you take another person's music and then basically effectively say, create me something similar to that kind of thing. So once we get better framework, we just don't want to be very clear in the legal standpoint. Okay. I want to be very transparent because the last thing we want is shut down the platform, right? Because we went like, okay, some 10 people wanted this feature, but they've not checked with legal guidance and stuff. Similarly, that's another reason why we're looking into ways to allow, as a newer update, once we roll this feature out as well, is like if we have your voice, right, you allow you to create your songs with your voice, basically, right? This is another thing we're looking into because another big problem is even if it's your voice, what if we allow you to upload any voice? Now it becomes a problem where you upload some popular musician, dead or alive, right? And their record labels own their rights even if they're dead, right? So there's the other issue as well. So what we're trying to do is do some kind of a system that, like, when you can record your voice, there's like a way to basically grant access in a legal way. You sign a contract kind of thing, like an agreement that it's your voice, you give rights to it kind of thing. We're looking into it. Okay, got to be careful here because you understand all the top 2 music platforms out there right now, both of them are in legal trouble right now. Okay, they're just running for the time being. So we don't even know what will happen 6 months from now, 5 months from now, whatever. Okay. So I just want to be clear on that front. We would love to add features. We're looking at it in a step-by-step basis to make sure to protect you and also protect the platform, right? Obviously, because we don't know if 5 people use it the wrong way. It doesn't matter if 10,000 people use it the right way. Okay. Just want to be clear on that front. Okay. So you're going through that steps to make sure that we do it the proper way to the best of our ability, obviously. Right. So, okay, that's the first thing. So the categories here and then that one. So now you can say in the what is the song about here? You can say, let's say, for example, it's like, let's say if somebody was asking, is Christian music? Is it? Yeah, that's the gospel music. Okay. But let's say you, for example, you want to do a lullaby, right? Same thing. Um,
Try
children's
try like
lullaby.
rock example, for example.
I'm sorry, rock
Uh,
example.
yeah, rock, any rock, yeah.
Oh, let's just do that. Like a 50s rock song about high school, um, let's say, creative troubles for teenager, right? So basically, creativity is hurdled or something like that, right? One of the top issues, like all the creative folks don't fit in or something, right? Or we can say, or something like that. Anyway, let's just do this. And then lyrics, I said AI generated, boom. So it's going to start doing it. Now, what we're doing behind the scenes is the lyrics is generated, the vocals are generated automatically. We're picking and choosing the instruments and stuff, all that stuff behind the scenes. And at any point you don't like something here, you can edit stuff. You see this? You can update the verses, the flow and stuff like that. You see, we given that option right here, as you can see, chorus, as you can see, stuff like this. All right. And the beauty here is that because the fact you can add stuff, you can basically use your own creativity. The reason why we've simplified this for you is a lot of people don't know what to put where, right? I mean, I don't know. Like, where does the chorus come into the picture? Where does the verse come? I have no clue, right? So that's why we made it simplified here. And then again, you give it a name and stuff like that. Let's say 50s rock song about high school problems, right? And then you just go click generate, right? So then basically you can create it straightforward. So very similar to the old flow, but more easier to use and works with categorization. And of course, now that we have this, we can create more and more categories very easily. And the beauty here is that because it's AI generated effectively, and because of the fact that we're doing it in a proper way, you don't have to worry too much about certain things that could get you into trouble. Okay. So that's the basic idea with this flow here. All right. So now, the other thing that we did specifically here that I wanted to mention here, which is pretty cool, is we do give you the ability, if you see here, you see, like when you click on some of these elements, we've also given you the ability where, let's say you go with any one of these, right? Ballet, you want to do heavy metal or whatever it might be. What we've also done, for example, is that you can do custom, but just understand for custom, you want to make sure, because this is a key thing, that the verses and choruses are in proper format. Okay. The best way to do that is generate with AI first. Okay. Generate like 10 songs or whatever you want with AI first, and then do the custom after, only after you're comfortable, right, with the flow of it. Because one of the biggest issues with AI these days, the hallucination problem, everything has to be perfect, everything has to be in the right format and stuff to get the right results. Or else AI just makes up stuff, right, hallucinates and stuff. So we've recommended you to do the AI thing first. Okay. So that's the basic idea here. Okay. Now, so pretty clear, right, about this feature. What's the flow? So step number one, what is the rollout strategy here? So yes, what's the rollout strategy for this feature? And also I'll talk about a little bit about the Talking Photos V3 and some other stuff next.
Yeah, rollout strategy is from the time being. I just right now, as I can see, the progress bar is loading to all the users, and this as your account, any given time from now, it will get it. But hypothetically, it will be in your account in the next 24 hours. So in the next 24 hours, if you go to create music, refresh it, you will see the version 2 and version 1 toggle, and you'll be able to view it, use it, and create amazing creations. So yeah, that's the thing. Paul, was your 50s done? Like, you created that?
Let's see. Yeah, it's done.
Yeah, you need to share that audio thing.
Okay,
uh,
I don't know how this thing works. Okay, um, so what I can do, let me see here. One second. Download this. Yeah, I'll download. I'll do the same thing I did before. Okay, because I don't know how the mic setting I have to do to play it properly. Okay.
yeah, no worries. Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, actually, so you're changing the no. Okay, sorry.
yeah,
Yeah,
so
you go
basically
ahead. You talk about stuff. I'll edit.
when you're sharing the screen, you share the window, not an entire screen, basically. Stop sharing it.
Okay. I
Stop
see. I
sharing.
see. Got it. Sorry, folks. I'm not too familiar with this stuff. All right, I
Yeah,
understood that.
when you
All right, so let
share
me do
it,
that.
yeah, when you share it, it will ask you for a window, and choose that Chrome tab, basically.
Okay, cool. I'll do that right now. So I'll share, okay, share screen, share there, and then, yeah, there. Okay, cool. Yeah. Okay, so now let's try this. Hopefully it works.
The bell rings loud, the teacher frowns. My notepad's blinking this sleepy town. Gotta write a hit, gotta make a sound. And my muse is lost and can't be found. Oh, teenage trouble, what can I do? My pencil shakes, my rhythm's untrue. This rock and roll dream is coming loose. Gotta find the words, gotta break through. Try to sad poem about my blue suede shoes. Try to love some, but I feel confused. The deadline's coming, I got nothing to lose. Just static on the radio news. Oh, teenage trouble, what can I do? My pencil shakes, my rhythm's untrue. This rock and roll dream is coming loose. Gotta find the words, gotta break through.
Pretty cool. All right. So what I kind of want to mention here real quick, if I can remove this. Yeah, what I want to mention here real quick is, if you recall, one of the things that we did here is the voice. It was like a teenager's voice, you see? So it was basically the AI created a voice that will be similar to the actual script idea here. That's the secret here, right? Pretty cool. Because you don't want like a 70-year-old talking about like high school problems, right? It doesn't make any sense. So that's the general idea here, all right? So that's what I kind of want to mention here. Now, the other thing that we want to mention here as well is, one of the things that people always mention to us, obviously, is that when we are creating any of these features, right, it's just getting overwhelmed with all this stuff. Like you see, like I see a voice changer feature here, I see create audio, I see my audio, I'm getting overwhelmed. So what we did here is, and we want to do it going forward, is simplify the workflow as much as possible, right? So if gender is automatic, and then you toggle it, the voice that's generated, the age of that person singing, and gender, all that stuff is sorted based upon the script or slash lyrics here, right? That we are trying to do. What that allows you to do is not worry too much about perfection. It's already thought about and done by AI, right? That's what simplicity is. So actually, you couldn't see my screen there. But what I meant is, like, if you see here, right, all that stuff is automatic based upon what the lyrics that are being posted here actually appears. Okay. Now, as Yash mentioned, in the next 5 to 10 minutes, we're rolling out this feature to all accounts. Right here, a couple of people mentioned this, so I just want to mention here real quick. I don't have this update. Can you let me know? So first of all, you'll need to have a CloneVoice.AI application, and secondly, the music feature was always available for people who had the all access account, which 95% whatever people already have. So if you're going to my purchases, you'll have to have this all access account access to get this feature, okay, which 95%, as I mentioned before, already have. So in other words, if you just for those folks who didn't get Clone Voice, it's a good time to do so, right? Because update is pretty cool. All right, so anyway, you can go here and you'll go into the application. What we're mentioning here is that if you go in here in the main website, you see the basic account does not have music functionality, all right? The all access does. So if you got the basic account, let's say this basic account, you can always upgrade inside to the all access, okay? They'll call it elite or something like that. They'll give you that music feature, okay? So it's just to, so you're clear, okay, for questions like this. So if you don't have CloneVoice, get CloneVoice to get access to this feature, obviously, which most of you should have, if not already all of you. But if you don't have specifically this create music functionality, you don't see it, then this tab on the top, then you need the all access account for CloneVoice. Okay, that's the second thing I want to mention. Now, finally, what I wanted to mention is what we're planning on going forward is the same logic here, which is to simplify this workflow where you want, what do you want? You want a music. Right? You want the vocals. You want with perfect music and stuff like that, instrumentals and stuff. You want categories, right? Specifically, right here. Okay. So what we did, in other words, is we've simplified that workflow for you And we're going to keep doing that with AI. Okay. One of the things that we are even planning on in the future here is that once we know, okay, these are the most used features for specific accounts, like let's say you're always creating 50s rock and stuff, we can optimize that feature just for your account so that it makes it even more easier going forward. It's called memory, right? We're working on that still in early stages of research and development, but that's another thing we're working on, which means even if you were use this application for the last 1 year, let's say, right? Effectively, what will happen is that even if you use it for 1 year, we'll have all the information that like what kind of stuff you created in the past, and then simplify that so that you don't have to keep writing a blank screen. We'll give you some suggestions. Okay, you did this type of stuff before. Do you want to create something similar to that? Similar to what ChatGPT does, right? Where from last time, what did you do? You're in this location or you're interested in this topic. Can we help you make that even easier? Can we go deeper into it? That's something we're working on deeply, which is going to be awesome in simplifying the systems. Now, the other thing, as well as this feature is rolling out into all accounts, I kind of wanted to mention as well the aspect of integrations for all applications. Okay, very, very important that this is stressed. Okay, I know you might come to this live stream and miss the next one. You may not come to some of the other training sessions you have. You may not watch the tutorials sometimes because there's too many or you don't have the time. I hear you. Okay, but please understand. Okay, the way I want you to think about this is outcome based. Okay, so for example, you did the music, right? This is music. Now you want to create a video out of it. Okay, plus lip sync, correct? Okay, lip sync, right? Let's say of that music. So I saw a couple of questions on it. That's why I want to address this point. So can I have lip sync of a dog singing? Very good question, correct? So the idea is you should not even think about it, right? The idea here is that we're gonna anyway put that feature in one of our applications, which is focused on that topic. So for example, your question was dog singing, lip sync. So what is the best lip sync platform that we have in our arsenal of tools? That is Talking Photos, right? That was specifically focused from the very beginning, right? From the ground up, okay? From the ground up, we've done that lip sync and, if you will. So that application, the V3 update coming up, okay? This is a big one we've been working on. It'll be released very soon, I guess I told you. We've basically thought through that as well. We hear you, we see your feedback in our Facebook groups and all that. So the idea is that you don't have to look for some other company to do it or whatever. It's going to be in one of our applications. So what's going to happen? The songs that you're creating will automatically show up within Talking Photos. Okay, first of all. Second of all, these songs, okay, will also be lip sync. And now your question was a dog singing, so cartoon dog and stuff like that. So remember I showed you, if you look at the page here in the Clone Voice AI's main website, we put some demos in, like stuff like this, right? As an example, stuff like this, for example, like this. So and this is what we like to call like this one as an example. You see? So those are the things that we are looking for in terms of making the lip sync work as well. That will be with the Talking Photos V3, like I just mentioned here as well. So that will be the integration for all applications. The reason why this is so powerful is not only the cost savings and the headaches of trying to pull together and mix and match together multiple tools together with other platforms out there, but the other reason why this is so powerful is that we can focus on making each application the best in its class, you know? So for example, here, you see here, like just adding, for example, this genres, like let's say we want to add 100 more, right? As an example, okay? That is something a team is fully focused on, only this. We're not wasting our time on anything else but that. There's a group of people in our team only focused on that. Next, we want to add multilingual music next, let's say. Okay, that's also in our checklist of items. We hear you. So that'll be a group of people focused only on that, okay, adding multilingual music capability down the line. So what that means is that you know for a fact that Clone Voice will be the best in its class for voice and specifically for music, songs, vocals, instrumental. That's a new update coming next. We're working heavily on for instrumentals as well. New update for that for Clone Voice. And then, of course, the next thing also for the voice maker, we have prompt to voice that you can add in public library where you have 7,000 plus creative voices that you can pick. So that means it's the very best of its class for the idea of anything to do with audio, okay? Including podcasts, for example, because we have that My Podcast feature where I would say is the best. It's way better than any platform out there. You've seen some demos in multilingual. We've done many languages as well. So you create a podcast, you break the language, it creates speakers, boom, give it a topic, it creates multi-speaker podcast. The very best in the industry in this particular feature, correct? So what I'm trying to say is that then this will be the very best in that. If we add something like lip sync to this application, then now other features will get backlog. And this is what's happening across, which is the reason why if you see nobody out there is trying to make their application as best as possible. It's like you add a bunch jumbled up mess of features and then you add up another $200 a month plan because first of all, you have to tell people to buy an external application or bring that external applications feature here. And then maybe that's not viable because let's say a company out there, which is a lip sync company, uses 11 Labs API integration. You will have to buy 11 Labs to make it work, or they will have to buy 11 Labs. So what we're doing here is a little bit different or very different, where these applications, if they're all one-time payment applications for you, your grandfather had a special deal, obviously, right, when you got in. So effectively, when the integrations come in, they'll make your life super, super easy. Okay. Now, that means that questions like that, which you just said, can a dog lip sync work for this? It's a cartoon dog. I'll upload a photo of my pet, let's say, or pet cat, right? Pet bird. You can do that with talking photos integration. Now, the next question will be, well, can I make let's say a full-fledged video with the voices or the music and stuff like that? Meaning not exactly lip sync. In that case, as I mentioned to you earlier, if you go into the tutorial section, you will see the integration that we have under the integrations tab. Scroll down here real quick. You will see it under integrations. We did with Artistly for images, storybooks, and stuff like that. For video, it's Video Express because we have a dedicated team working on Video Express, all the updates and everything else, right? So as you can see here, you can now create full-fledged videos with music and stuff like that, multi-layered. You can add titles and subtitles and everything you can imagine right here. Okay, so that's the basic idea where we can focus on making each application the very best in the industry. And this is the big deal, folks. Okay. I cannot stress this enough. I've seen the very biggest of big companies where what they're doing is they're trying to jumble together 10 different features and they're just abandoning that feature which has no usability. We've seen, for example, some I'll not name who, but some of these companies trying to create storybooks feature, for example, that which Artistly has mastered over the last let's say year or so, and been adding more and more features and more updates for it for usability for Kindle publishing. You get the idea, especially with the Christmas season, holiday season coming up more so. And so now you see they allow 10 pages, for example. How can you create a storybook with 10 pages? Secondly, consistency of characters lacking, all these other problems. And when you actually end up spending money and testing it, you just realize how much effort it takes to get that last 5% correct. And that's the reality of the situation. And this focus of integrations and making every single application the best of its class will allow us also to get that last 5% attention to detail features, let's say, the very best possible. Okay. Just want to mention that as well. So that makes it completely worthwhile for you to kind of come to these trainings. If you don't come to the training, it's okay. Okay, it's all cool. The idea is that you're getting the very best in terms of the features, integrations, and anything you can imagine you can create, whether it's video, audio, images. You get the idea in terms of creativity. Okay, that's the basic idea here across the board. Now, the next thing I want to mention here as well is in case, right? For example, you're on this live webinar, like so, you see create music. You don't see this, just make sure that you come back again in a couple of hours or so. So what happens when you're pushing an update, sometimes depending on which part of the world you're in, it because of DNS, what's called domain name servers, and some of the other updates that make it might not be instant. Sometimes you have to log off and log in, or you close your browser and all that stuff. So there's something called caching that occurs and stuff like that. So to simplify it, if it doesn't show up in your account, don't worry. Just check back in a couple of hours or so, it'll be there, right? And if you see anything, because it says beta, okay? If you see anything, please email our support team, okay? Support at CloneVoice.AI. I'll put it up here as well. This is the email. So email us if you see something off in your account, okay? So let me see here in my account, is it added in here, the other account? Let me refresh. Yeah, it's not here yet. See, in these other accounts. So if that's the case where you don't see it, you don't see the toggle, don't worry, come back again in a couple of hours or so, it'll be there. Rolling it out slowly to all accounts takes some time to push something major like this without crashing something else, right, in your account because so many people are already using the application right now. Okay. Now, the next thing I kind of want to mention here while we're at it is just wanted to mention something else for folks coming in. Okay. So one of the things that if you noticed, let me pull this up here real quick. So let me push this here. Let me show you something cool here. Remember, we did mention integrations and stuff like that for our tools. So I want to mention something interesting. So something people always ask us. Okay. So first of all, Talking Photos V3. Okay. This is being actively worked on. Okay? That's coming up next any day now. Okay. So just watch out for emails and check our Facebook group and stuff. We'll be announcing it in a big way. Very massive update. It's night and day from the earlier version. We've been waiting to release this update for almost 8 months now, just making sure like it has everything you can imagine, lip syncing songs, vocals, even if you have a mic like this on my face and blocking my lips, scenarios like that. So it took us some time, but we weren't to wait for that reason alone. Then we also have a V3 of VE Express we're actively working on as well. So this one, for example, will be coming in after Talking Photos V3. So the team will be working on that next. I don't want to mention too much yet on what it is, but again, that features we're working on there, just to give you an idea, will make it the best in class. Okay, so let's say, for example, anything you can imagine the top platforms can do, regardless of how big they are, this update will allow Video Express to do. Okay, is that clear? So now the next will be Artistly update as well. We're working on some interesting things behind the scenes for Artistly. It's going to be pretty cool. And also adding some other cool things behind the scenes. Sometimes, we'll add some features which are more, if you will, V7 for Artistly, by the way. Some of them will be more quality of life features, make things easier for you and stuff like that. The next update for Artistly is also being worked on by the team because I told you everybody is a different. So each team here is a different developer working on these. Okay, we have different developer teams. How do we make it all work? Don't even ask me. It requires a lot of effort, experience as well. We've been doing this stuff for the last 16 years now. So kind of know. But V7 of Artistly, we've done everything that could be possible with images, if you think about it, but we went a step further. That's what V7 will be all about. It's being actively worked on and stuff like that. Pretty cool. And then we also are working on ClickSight's new version. Okay, for those of you who owned ClickSights, I don't have the logo here on me because it's a new update as of just yesterday. So new version of ClickSights will be rolled out as well. And by the way, all these we're hoping to release by the end of this year. Okay, obviously Talking Photos much sooner, obviously, but ClickSights, let's say V2, okay, V2.0. This one is monster. Okay, this is a monster update. Okay, for ClickSights. We've like if you think about ClickSights, what does it do? ClickSights will allow you to create websites from a prompt, but you can go much further than that. If you looked at the developments that are being done in terms of website design and UI and some of the other cool things, we've integrated every single thing you can imagine into this. And also the other thing we're doing behind the scenes is the infrastructure updates to manage websites and stuff like that, because it's crazy what ClickSights V2.0 can do. Okay, so that will be also being planned. Okay, so in all, our team is very busy, if you can imagine. But I don't want you to get overwhelmed. When you see so many tools, sometimes you're getting overwhelmed, right? But I want you to understand these trainings have focused on simplifying that stuff for you, number one. The second thing we're focused on right here is also making sure that they all integrate with each other. One of the things that we plan to do also is make Artistly and ClickSights integration happen. Once that V2.0 comes after that, have that integration work. So that way, the websites you create have the best images and design elements and stuff like that. That also requires Artistly engineers to obviously work on some stuff. So this is the plan. Okay. Why I'm mentioning this to you right now is because today we talked about the music aspect of Clone Voice, the feature. And if you see, I wanted to kind of mention this because sometimes, I don't want you to even think about these updates we're making as something that you got to come to a live stream to see. Okay, that's the other thing I want to mention. Sometimes, people don't have that much, like maybe you're traveling or you're committed to some other, let's say, chores you have to do, whatever it might be. So the idea here is that many times we'll just notify you in our Facebook groups. So please understand, join our Facebook group. This is the reason why we mentioned this. We're just posting. Sometimes it's the one feature, just come in, you can browse our group and keep an eye on. We'll have them up. So let's say, for example, if you go into, let me open up my screen here. I'll show you here real quick. So any one of our groups, you'll notice it, if you will. So we have that main internal group. This is where we mention most of the stuff. So you hear, right? This is the group with like what, almost 76 some thousand people here. Let me just reload it. So like stuff like this, right? So we will update it. Just look at the featured section here. This is where we'll post the updates, and that's the plan, because not all the time, you can come to a live stream and we can't send you 100 emails with 100 updates. It doesn't look fun, but we'll notify you here. So that's another thing we're planning on doing. Okay. So you can keep joining and be part of it. And that's why I told you, like, join that group link. So that's the plan. Because, when you're looking at so many updates, okay, so like I mentioned before, whether it is Click Sites v2.0 or just v7, Talking Photos v3, VExpress v3, it might sound like even just mentioning it is sounding daunting. So that's why we wanted to bite-size chunks so that we can say, okay, this is VExpress v3, this is what it does, Talking Photos v3. So let me mention one more time just so it's clear, because sometimes people keep mentioning it as. So the flow will be like this. Number one will be Talking Photos v3. Number two will be between, we're not sure yet, but most likely we are aiming towards Click Sites v2.0 second, or Video Express, okay, meaning in terms of schedule of release. And then fourth will be Artistly v7, okay. The plan is, just for reference here, is that the first thing that will release Talking Photos v3, either second or third, depending on edge cases and some things we want to test with our beta testers internally and all that. That'll be between Click Sites v2.0 or v3. Again, just to mention here real quick, these are free to users, okay, for people who already own these applications. So if you're a Video Express customer, expect v3 to be free. Talking Photos v3 is for free for Talking Photos existing customers. Same thing with Artistly, same thing with Click Sites, okay. Now that's another excuse for you to buy these tools if you don't have any, because we're constantly updating them all the time. And people always ask us, I just want to be very clear that this part is, if you will, sometimes I stress this, and people always ask us, like, okay, it's all great, but you mentioned this too many times. But in case you didn't join our other events and stuff, I just want to be very clear here, okay? So people always ask us this question, and the question is effectively something like this, okay? And the question is, hey, how is this sustainable, right? Okay, how is this sustainable? So the question is, okay, you did Talking Photos v3, that costs money. We did Video Express v3. Video Express is already, I believe, about most 2.5 years old. Artistly is well over close to 3 years old. So whether you bought it a year ago, 6 months ago, 3 months ago, a year ago, 2 years ago, whatever, you've been getting these updates, correct? So how do you sustain it? We have teams working all over the place. I just want you to understand one thing, okay? You have to understand, to get this aspect, there's two components that is to be understood first of all, okay? So the first question you have to ask is, what was the case in the past, okay? So back in, let's say, 1990s and early 2000s, for those who know WordPerfect or Lotus and Corel Draw, and you had Adobe Photoshop in the early stages, how they used to work was effectively, they used to say it's a one-time payment to get Photoshop version 1 or Corel Draw version 2 or whatever, okay? And you would get the CD-ROM drive. They would give you a bunch of updates and stuff. And then if they made a massive shift where they released a video, let's say Adobe Premiere, let's say, okay? They would say, okay, this is Adobe Premiere. This is our video tool. Go buy the CD-ROM drive or whatever. And that's how they made their money. And the basic idea was that you would use your computer to use the application. So how fast your computer was did basically allowed you to use that application, okay? So later on, what happened was the pace of data centers and cloud tools and stuff like that meant that most of the tools went into AWS, Amazon Cloud, Google Cloud. You get the point. And so then what happened was that a lot of the companies started to charge a monthly fee, right? So if you go monthly, okay. Now, the thing I just want to mention here, let's look at something like a Netflix, correct? So let's just say I'll put Netflix here in the top, okay? Now, Netflix, you get, let's put a straight number, billions of dollars worth of movies. So it justifies paying that $20. They have an $8 a month plan or whatever. Okay, $20 a month, whatever it comes to. For billions of, like, a movie ticket is worth more than $20 these days with popcorn and all that stuff. Okay, if you want to get, so it makes sense to pay that money for Netflix. But do you agree with me when it's a software tool? Okay, and I just want to tell you the way things work behind the scenes for software tools. What happens is when we actually look at a software tool, majority of the other cost is in R&D. Okay, our and the research and development. So meaning, let's say we're trying to do lip sync feature, or we're trying to do, let's say, music, or we're trying to do multilingual voice cloning or something like that. Majority of the time is spent on that because there's no clear cut answer to that question, okay, that solution to that problem, let's say. So what we're realizing, and you will understand, is that when you get good at this, okay, when you get really good at it, like we've gotten, I would say, in the last couple of years, specifically the last few months, even with community-led feedback. So what happens is we see the Facebook group comments, and that's why I'm posting that Facebook group link to communicate there, and please be helping each other out and stuff, is that most of the time you're actually having the community suggest features to us. The community might say, hey, this particular feature could be improved with this aspect and stuff like that. What happens is, instead of us wasting, say, 80% of the time, like all these other big corporations do, on receiving feedback, figuring out what customers want, and then saying Q4 of 2025 or Q3 of 2026, we're going to release this feature, or all that nonsense, we just directly communicating with you. So that means 80% of the time is saved on this back and forth, and we spend only 20% of the time on only, okay, these are the 10 list of things. People want multilingual music. Okay, we're working on that. People want, let's say, for example, more categories for the music feature, V2 we've released today. Okay, we only focus on that. That means that we're more laser focused. So when that happens right here, we have 80% savings, correct? Okay, that's number one. So second thing, when it comes to AI tools, you have to understand, okay, to simplify this even further. So let me just delete all this thing. So for AI tools in particular, we have to pay these AI server costs, okay? So AI servers. Right now, a lot of these companies, what they're doing is they're saying, okay, any company you can imagine, they're just going to go to an OpenAI, or they're going to go to a Google and stuff like that. And then they'll say, okay, Google, OpenAI, whatever you charge for your video, your audio, your text, whatever models you do, basically will end up paying. So let's say, for example, Google, I'll give you an example. Okay. With Google, they charge about, let's say about $3 or so for, let's say, an 8-second video. Okay. 8-second video for VO3. Okay. VO3. And this is the latest model they have. Okay. So that's $3. So let's say, for example, your favorite video application integrates VO3. They cannot sell it for less than $3. It's impossible. They have to sell it for more than $3 per video. Correct. So the problem is that whether the servers or whether you do this way, you're going to basically be the middleman or middlewoman effectively trying to serve customers. So what we did is we rewrote the storybook in a way. Okay. So, I mean, it took time, but let's say what we did is back in 2021, because we did Human Pal and some of the other platforms out there back then, we signed some really, really great deals with some of these cloud providers and some other platforms out there, where we just told them, hey, look, and this was before the ChatGPT hype and all this other AI craze that came in, the bubble, they say, and we got some really good deals, and we've been renewing those deals every single year because of the fact that the capacity was already set up. They're okay to do it right now. So what that means, in other words, is we could also cut costs here, for example. Okay, just want to mention, okay, saving of the cost, we say. That's the other reason. So that's another reason why we pass on the savings to you. The third thing, I know it sounds so complicated and stuff, but just I'm trying to explain to you. Third thing is, let's say, for example, in a software company right now, let's say you can say your favorite software company, whatever it might be, about their margins. Okay, margin meaning cost of servicing the customer is about 85% to about 90%. Okay. This is the profit margin / gross margin. Let's remove profit margin. So like profit is a very tricky word, but let's say this is the margins, okay, in the software company world right now. So let's say any favorite company, yeah, publicly traded company, whatever. And this is the reason why software technology companies are worth so much, why Google is worth so much, why Facebook is worth so much, or whatever company you can desire. So what I'm trying to say is that Why are they doing it this way? Because they're serving their investors, not their customers. Okay. Let me be very clear on this topic. Okay. Because the investors want these types of companies. They want to have them make this kind of money. So if somebody tells, okay, I don't care about investors, I want to care about my customers. Why are we making 90% margins? Why can't we just make 15%, let's say, which is good enough, right? That's a lot of money too. Why can't we do that? Because if you look at the real world, so somebody's serving your restaurant business or your construction company, which builds apartment buildings or commercial plazas, they get about 15%, 20% margins. Everybody who's worked in those industries know, insurance companies. Why is technology this much? Well, that's been the rule. So what I'm trying to say is that when a company can operate at 15%, they should be serving customers, correct? What happens here, simple terms, is whether it's 1,000 customers or whether it is, let's say, 20,000 customers, let's say, okay, the cost, okay, let's say this differential, the cost, okay, is not, okay, not 20x. Does that make sense? For a technology software company, when you increase from 1,000 customers to 20,000 customers, your cost for serving the customer is not 20 times. Okay. It'll be 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, whatever it might be, depending on the business. So then there's a lot of scope to pass on the savings to customers, especially if you can save costs on research and development, which you're doing with the community-led growth we're doing with you folks. And then the second thing is obviously we focus on those features which we feel like you will want, depending on what you're requesting. Secondly, we've already got the service, like we got some really good deals done before the AI hype. So that's slightly reduced. And thirdly, also when we are trying to please customers and not a bunch of investors, it makes things a lot more easier. Okay. And why I'm stressing this out to you is understand that we're looking at this in a long haul. Okay. We're looking at it as a long-term thing. We're not looking at something where, oh, we promise you the world and disappear after 5 months or 3 months or 6 months, claiming, oh, the costs were not sustainable, or claiming, for example, that we have investors forcing us to change all your one-time payment, whatever stuff, or charging you for updates now as a monthly subscription or something else, okay, upsells and stuff like that. So this is important for you to understand, so you can be rest assured that when we're saying best of its class, we're really going for the best of its class, and going because of your feedback and your guidance here, of course, obviously, and we can focus on that, which will get the best results. Okay. Does that make sense? Let me know in the chat box, because I want you to understand this aspect. Be rest assured that when we do these updates and we're coming into the holiday season, the season of giving, who else can we give more than our customers? Okay. People always ask us this question is, okay, like, what is the priority? Well, if your priority is your customers, give it for the best deal to the customers. That's the best thing we can do. And we can pass on the savings of everything that we're doing behind the scenes. For example, a lot of our customers come in with word of mouth right now. And that means that we're not spending as much on advertising, then we'll pass on the savings to you, right? That comes with features, that comes with everything. Okay. So want to mention this aspect. So is that clear? Let me know in the chat box if that is very clear. Okay. Because it's one of the saddest things that we've seen over the last few years is there's been this, and for those who don't know, let me just be very clear. There's these one-time payment or whatever, lifetime or whatever companies that would come in. And then what would happen is they will hide behind a company or a platform or whatever. And then they'll say, okay, so we will give you this, and like all a bunch of features, let's say. And then somewhere after like 5 months or something like that or whatever, 5 months later, they'll disappear. And you'll not even know who to contact, because there's no Facebook group, there's no community, there's nobody, like, let's say here I'm standing here, I'm talking to you every week, or my team is talking to you, or Sid is talking to you, Ali's talking to you, Yash is talking to whoever. There's nobody to contact, whether to message or whatever, and they disappear. And then they'll start up with another company or another name or whatever, and you'll never know who that person was that you spend money with. And that's what's been happening. It's a sad thing. And there's a lot of details behind it, I guess. There's a lot of excuses, whatever, it doesn't matter. So that's been happening for the last 3 or 4 years, specifically since the pandemic and thereafter. So trust is a big issue right now. And that goes both ways, right? Trust, you having trust in us, and also me or us having trust in you, that you'll help us out, give us feedback requests. And, as I said, 40 people or so roughly have volunteered to test multiple languages for Clone Voice, multiple, different feedback elements. And this is your time you're dedicating for us. And we appreciate that. So stuff like that matters to us. So we want to also reward people that way. So to benefit everybody, for example. And so this is the reason why I want to mention. So when we say by the end of the year, we're planning some of these things and the quick sites update and stuff like that, this is how we are thinking. Because the way you have to understand is before in the past, that's how Adobe grew. That is how all these other companies. So when Adobe or Microsoft, let's say, they would release Excel, which was spreadsheet application separately. They would have Word. They would have PowerPoint. These were separate applications that you could buy separately. You pay once, you get the CD-ROM drive, install PowerPoint, install Excel and stuff, and use it. And later on, if they release another product, you'd go buy the CD-ROM back in the days. What changed? All this cloud, these investors, all this stuff came in, and now everybody wants that profit margin to be that 90%. Who's getting squeezed? The customers, right? Ultimately. And so the way we are approaching things is a little bit different for that reason, because we've been in space for 15 years. We made our money already. It's not like we're desperate for money or anything. So we don't have to please somebody, because it works like this. Okay. So when you look at it, when the fact of the matter is, whether it's 1,000 customers or 20,000, like I said, it doesn't mean 20x the cost. It's not 20x. If that is the case, then the goal for every company, whether it's us, you, whoever, should be, okay, how can we grow this from 20 to 50,000 or whatever. And if we make it more customer centric, like we are doing with you, with your feedback and stuff, and making it as best as possible, maybe we will not be as fast as some company with 1,000 employees or 10,000 employees or whatever. But the point being that we're focusing only on that 10% of the features everybody wants, not just wasting time and dumping projects halfway through, correct? So the idea here is that then through word of mouth and stuff, if we grow, we make more revenue. We're happy making 15% margin. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. We're happy. We don't need 80, 90, whatever, because at the end of the day, that's good enough. Okay. It's not like you're greedy enough to make it. And the only way we can grow also is people should have to understand that more customer feedback and more, feedback we get from folks like you. And that's where we're trying to make sense with you. And we're going to streamline this process even further, where every one of you can even recommend any of these applications going forward with our training and stuff, where you can recommend it to friends, family, or whoever, with social media, whatever, and get a commission, which we already have affiliate program, but we're going to go a step further to simplify it for you. That's another plan we have in play. So that'll also allow us to, again, pass on more savings to you, because the lesser we spend on marketing and advertising, the more we can focus on engineering, research and development and stuff like that, right? Obviously. So that's the basic idea, okay? So just be rest assured on that aspect, okay? Because every time, there's some bug occurs or something is not working, we see in Facebook group where people are so trepidated, like, hey, is the platform down forever, or is it disappearing? And I hear you, because that's what happened. 99% of the time, that's what happens. So you have to be careful about, like, okay, how do you trust somebody or whatever? So just want to lay out this, okay? And this is the reason why we do these live streams as well across, okay? So that we have a play. So now, just to summarize here real quick, okay? Just to be clear. So this Clone Voice music V2, okay, V2, let's say, that will appear like so, okay, toggle in your account like so. We're going to be doing short step-by-step tutorials on it as well, releasing maybe tomorrow or so. That will appear in your account. Now, if it is not in your account, let's say, for example, there's another account right here, and if you reload it, oh, there you go, it showed up in my account right now. Does it show up in your account? Let me know in the chat box real quick. Does it show up in your account? So if it shows up like this, that means that it is active, okay? That account is active, okay? Just let me know. I'll be here for another minute or so, just to see if it showed up in all of your accounts. It showed up, cool. That means that it's active, okay? So that's cool. So watch the tutorials page here. Watch out for the next 24 to 48 hours. We'll have some tutorials there as well for this new feature and stuff like that. And be sure, of course, to email our team if you need more categories and stuff like that. We're adding more now that we have the system. Okay, cool. I see Anthony saying yes. I see Steve saying yes, and cool and stuff. Okay. Now, if you have anything like this issue, just try another browser. Sometimes what happens is when we push an update, it messes up some browsers because of like some browsers cache, meaning they save the old page data. So it causes this issue. Either way, email our support team if it's something that you have an issue with or whatever, okay? That's the email that you see there on your screen right now, okay? So anyway, you can email it there. Now, basically, what I'm trying to say is that now you have this feature. Just make sure you use it. We mentioned it. We're gonna add more categories once you let us know. Be sure, by the way, when you email our support team in there, you get a genre. Let's say you want to do this. Give us a sample, okay? A file, okay? MP3 or whatever, doesn't matter. MP3, wave, whatever. Okay. Now, why I'm telling you this is, 50s rock is different from 70s and 60s and 30s or whatever. So if we get an idea of what you mean, like Celtic music, that we saw here, the Celtic music, this one right here. This was one of the suggestions from our customers. They actually gave us some examples, and that's why it's an obscure thing. It's not as popular as hip hop or rap and stuff. So anyway, that's the reason why I'm saying. Okay. So give us some examples so we can take a look and see what you mean by the category. Now, and the other point that came in is basically, oh yeah, mine just showed up. That's great. Awesome. All right. So any feedback you have, let us know. Obviously, we'll improve them based on that. Okay. Just refresh it in your account. Awesome. Excellent. Showed up in yours too. Great. Awesome. All right. Dark mode option. Yeah, we're looking into it. I think we're trying to do it, but sometimes, oh yeah, actually dark mode is here. Check this out. It's right here. See, good that we're in live webinar like this. So this one, you see, this is the dark mode. So you go into your top section and you'll see that little. So let me show you. Okay, you go in the top and you click on dark, it becomes dark mode. Okay, like so. Okay, so it is there. I was thinking for a second that it was not there, but I remember we did it. But okay, it's right here. Okay, so if you want light again, you can do light. You can even do system. So what system does is it picks, for example, what you selected in your computer, and it will take that. Okay, light or dark. Okay, so this is the dark theme. Cool for those who like it. A little bit easier on your eyes sometimes. So yeah. Okay, just want to mention that. That's a good point. See, that's why it pays to be sometimes worth it to be in these live streams. Okay, awesome. All right, so now the yeah, you love Celtic music, Karen. Awesome. All right, so yeah, if it doesn't work on yours, just make sure you email our support team. Like I told you, sometimes some browsers are nutcase about these stuff. Okay, what that means is they are very restrictive on what you can modify. So let's say in your system settings on your browser, it says do not change for whatever. Okay. Like for whatever reason, don't change the theme. So that could be a reason it does it. Okay. So just want to mention. All right. So awesome. Great. Now, so this is the question I want to answer. I mentioned this before if you join in late. So for V2, we made gender automatic, okay, for V2. This was one of the biggest requests that came in the V1 when we did it was, hey, I want to create music to be published on social media, whatever, okay, whatever the case might be. And one of the issues that what I'm facing is I pick a gender of a person, but then I pick, say, opera or something as a category. I pick it, and generally speaking, for this type of a song, it will be a female, and by default, it had male, and it was messing up things. So we simplified that. Okay, so just based on what you put in the song and the lyrics, it auto picks the age, the gender, and the styling, the instruments, even the age of that specific singer. Okay, this is the best way to simplify things because what we were finding out is when you do, say, male opera, okay, and you give it like a prompt that is similar to a female, it doesn't come out that good. AI starts hallucinating and making a mess of things because some categories are only female specific. Some categories are male specific. For example, like if you go back to 50s rock, very little female singers back then, when you look at that era, unfortunately. So again, doesn't sound that good because there's not that many examples to go with, let's say, for example. Anyway, that's the basic idea. We simplified it. Okay. Now, the other thing we've done as well, which I recommend you to do, coming back to the point, is lyrics type AI generated. Use this first before you try custom. Okay. Because when you do custom, the very first time, you might mess up on the way to put the verse, the chorus, and stuff like that. So just do the AI generator, get a flow for things, and just do it after. Okay. So that's the other idea here. Okay. So the other thing, oh, cool, you have it now. Awesome. All right. So the other thing I want to mention here as well is don't hesitate to experiment and get a hang of things, because what happens generally in real life is with AI stuff in particular is that you don't even know what ends up being much better than what you thought it would be. So, for example, you gave it a prompt and you had a specific idea in mind, but it generated a completely different idea. But that could be actually something that came out better when you're publishing it on social media and other places, because AI has a better understanding. Like, imagine you have a robot brain. It's infinitely more smarter than a human brain, so effectively it knows better what is viral, what connects with audiences better, what beats do well and stuff. Okay, just understand that, because we all have personal preferences, but in reality, when you're publishing something, you want the whole world to see it. It has a different way of doing things, right? If you think about it. Okay, that's the other thing I want to mention. All right, so again, go ahead. It should be in all your accounts now, this feature. Again, you can log off and log back in if you want to. What we will do is, if you see the tutorials tab, we will be adding specific step-by-step short tutorials. You don't have to watch this whole live stream again to get a hang of it. We've simplified it as much as possible. So you just go to the categories, you pick it, and you say, what is the song about? And you should be good to go. And again, if you have any feedback and stuff, email us at support@CloneVoice.AI, because it's in beta. As you can see, we just rolled out this feature. We did our best in testing it to the best of our ability, but sometimes maybe we didn't go fully deep into some specific genre or some specific style, especially with this custom part, because we don't know what you're putting in here and stuff like that. So if you see anything off, let us know. Okay, we'll be happy to assist you there, of course. Now, finally, again, coming back to the point, I want to mention here specifically is, this is just the start. We'll be adding more genres here, more categories and stuff, streamlining the system even further. Obviously, multilingual music will be natural next thing to do. Once we perfected this, that's the next stage, correct? Similarly, we're updating some other things internally to simplify things. Instrumentals is something as well we're updating. Like, for example, right now we have this Create SFX. We're making this even better. Okay, in this feature as well. That's the next update coming up later, and some other cool things we're adding to Clone Voice, which is a little bit more minor in terms of what they are, but will be pretty cool to have quality of life stuff. Okay, so coming back to, again, what I'm saying is, effectively, people always ask us, okay, which application of yours do I buy, depending on the use case. Okay, if it's images and storybooks and stuff like that, Artistly is the best. It cannot get any better than that. If it is video, Video Express is the best for sure. And then for lip sync and creating cartoon dogs, cats, characters and stuff like that, lip syncing and that sort of thing, that will be talking for it, especially with the V3 update any day now. Okay, this is the next thing. Probably the next big thing you're going to be mentioning in our training would be this one, for sure. Just give us a little bit of time to perfect it if it takes us a couple of days extra here and there, but that'll be something you'll be excited to watch out for. And when we do release V3, it will have a direct integration. Okay, again, I want to be clear. V3 of Talking Photos will have a direct integration with Clone Voice. Okay, Clone Voice app. Okay, similar to what we did with Artistly and with Video Express. So in other words, what that means is, so remember I showed you these demos that you saw earlier. So let me just play it real quick. Like this.
My shadow dances through the night, a silent tear, a final sigh for broken vows beneath the sky.
So stuff like this is what I mean when I say the Talking Photos V3 integration will allow you to upload a song and lip sync like that. Okay, with pan movements and stuff you're working on. It's very difficult, challenging. Not many people have done it. I don't see, probably no company has done it the way we're doing it in Talking Photos, especially. It's a free update if you're an existing Talking Photos customer, which is crazy, because it's very, very hard to do that in a way, because of so much movements happening, so many elements when it comes to a song. So that'll be coming up in V3. That's why we're taking our sweet time in a way to make sure it's properly done, because we hear you. Like, if we say Clone Voice integration with Talking Photos and just limit it to just voice, it doesn't do justice to that update, because you do want to create music and vocals and songs and then make it into a video. And it should be as easy as you press a button and it's done. It should not be where you need to be an expert in machine learning or some AI stuff and coding and stuff. It should be straightforward. And that's the goal. Make it as simple as possible. Okay. So that'll be the next one. Watch out for that update for sure. And of course, after that, people always ask us what's next after Talking Photos V3. It will be between either Video Express V3 or ClickSites V2. Okay, ClickSites is our other platform. As you know, that's the big one coming up. It's completely revamped. It's going to be crazy. So it'll be either this V2.0 of ClickSites, or it'll be Video Express, one or the other. Either way, both are being worked on. So it might come literally a week or two apart from each other or something like that, ultimately, depending on holiday season. You know, we don't want to release it on holidays or during Thanksgiving, for example, coming up in the folks in the US, right? Our Canadian Thanksgiving is already finished. So we do it a little bit differently, but you get the point. So, so that depending, okay, the holidays and stuff, we'll roll it out. But that's the flow, and then Artistly V7 after that. For Artistly V7, yeah, it's going to be pretty cool. For those who are Artistly fans, you'll love V7 because we're doing something very unique in it that I'm very excited about there. And of course, same thing with everything, obviously, but just trying to explain, because the question would be, what are you going to do in Artistly when you already done 6 version updates? What's for 7? I'm just telling you, it's going to be pretty cool because I've seen what we're working on there. Can't reveal too much there because again, it's still our research and development being done there. So again, if you're a ClickSites customer, you've been asking, I hear you, I see live streams all the time, like when is the next update to ClickSites and stuff like that. It's coming. Okay. We're rolling out very soon. Worth the wait there as well, because it's a completely revamped thing. We've added like crazy amount of features and stuff. It's already done. What we're doing is the tutorials and some behind the scenes testing we're doing and all that, because how we have to roll it out is, yeah, thousands of users will be immediately switch to V2. So we had to make the editor and stuff compatible with that new changes, correct? So that's why it takes a little bit longer. And then Video Express V3 as well, similarly, like working on that as well, and that'll be rolled out soon. So all in all, a lot of stuff coming up very soon, exciting stuff, of course. Now, my point I'm trying to make ultimately is make sure you're in our group watch out for these updates and stuff in case you don't join these live streams, you miss them out and stuff for whatever reason. And secondly, that's the group link there. And secondly, like I mentioned to you, always watch out for these trainings as well, because I'll keep mentioning them from time to time, what's coming up down the pike, so to speak, and pretty fun stuff as well. And the ultimate point is we are going to be completely focused, and I want to be very clear here, on outcomes. Okay, on outcomes. What that means, in other words, is the video you create or the music you create or the lip sync that is created. The idea is that we want you to get basically more views, more leads, more sales, more clicks, whatever. Okay, the real use case here is that, not something fun to do. You know, you see with AI all the time, somebody says, "Oh, this is kind of cool, go check it out," but it has no real use case because first of all, maybe it is not even possible for you to create without coding skills or something. Secondly, it doesn't work in your language, for example, or maybe it is so restricted that you can't even, like, for example, like I told you, one of the top companies did storybooks and did 10 pages. How can you create a 10-page children's storybook? Doesn't make any sense. And even their consistency of characters and stuff sucked, realistically speaking, compared to Artistly. So again, little details. When you're really trying to create a storybook, you want to know, okay, Artistly is the best because we've refined it for the last year and a half or so. Other people come day one, not going to be the same effect. So similarly, this will be the thing. Sometimes what happens because of this, it takes a little bit longer to do things because we have to test. Okay, we created this video, let's upload to YouTube. Let's see how it's performing. Oh, we created this particular, let's say, music and doing lip sync. We have to do vertical video for TikTok and stuff, and also do, say, for example, 16:9, right, for YouTube and stuff. And the other problem is, we could have just stopped at, say, for example, music, but only the head moving, not hands and other stuff. That would have been easy, where you can just put a person facing straight up. Okay, let's say, for example, do the easy way. But the hard way is to make it where somebody's hands are moving, head is moving left and right, and still maintaining that lip sync and make it work. So little details takes time because you want to look at the outcome here. What's the real end result we're able to provide you? And that is the approach. Sometimes because of that, we might delay some features and focus on other features sooner because it impacts more people to get the better outcome. So these are the things we're focused on. Okay, so understand that when these come, they will be working from day one. And secondly, the idea is that we're testing it so often that sometimes we get more ideas and we keep improving it even further. Okay. So the way I want you to approach it, the final point I'm going to make here, because I know we've been going on for a couple of hours now, and I really appreciate everybody for being here. The main thing I want to mention here, and we're noticing it across a huge amount of advertising spend and like feedback from people in the industry and everybody else, and even our own experience right now with AI in particular. Okay. With AI in particular, it is all about right now getting that 100% result. Okay. What that means, in other words, is that if you can achieve an outcome that is 100% indistinguishable to what a human would do, okay, then it's a game changer across the board. Okay. And this is the secret to AI right now. What that means, in other words, is we could go and we could say, okay, right now we will do AI that will do 3D objects, for example. 3D objects, for example, have use case in video games and stuff like that. Well, one of the other problems, and CAD designs, right? C80 CAD for architecture and stuff like that. Now, the problem is we're noticing, and when you do testing and stuff like that, with 3D objects, the technology is not there yet, for example. And so some things like that. So it sounds cool to add to an application, but it has no usability when you want to actually use it for architecture or some real life use cases. Like less than, I think, 1% architects are using AI right now, as an example, because hallucination, some other issues. So anybody who can say, for example, create storybooks with Artistly and get almost 99 to 100% close to results as a human being doing, with AI doing the bulk of the work, are actually destroying it right now, meaning doing really, really well. Similarly, for example, if instead of me, for example, sitting in like this and speaking in front of a microphone, see, I have a microphone in here as an example, right? So if I'm doing it, have my clone of me creating videos, and I can do it where it's indistinguishable between a real and a person or not. That's getting great results right now. So what's happening is use cases, okay, are very limited with AI. Okay. And it's a sad thing, because, for example, the promise is that robots will do all the work for you, or the promise is that, for example, AI will cure cancer, which I would hope it does, but it's not happened. Okay. We're nowhere close to that. So what's happening is the few use cases that it does really well, and that is what's getting people insane results right now. And that's what we are focusing on as well, making Video Express better than it already is. Talking Foot is better than already is. Artistry better than already is. And making the use cases even more defined, so that when you're trying to publish a storybook with Artistry, or creating a video, full-fledged video for YouTube with Video Express, or Talking Foot as a lip sync or song, whatever use cases, you can get even better results than any time before. And this is becoming extremely important with AI, because those who get this is what I just mentioned to you, will be the actual next decade, or let's say next 10 years. They will be the ones who will lead the future. Okay. I'll give you an example. In the early days of the internet, those who understood search will be the future. Let's say Google, because there were 25 other search engines. Those who understood Google will be the future, and Google worked on another a technology called backlinks, where depending on how many websites will link back to your website, it'll get it ranking higher. In the early days, I knew Google would be big. Okay, just a luck, let's say, out of pure fluke luck. And for about 3 years, just with that, with no money, no connections, whatever, I was lucky enough to generate a lot of revenue as a 17-year-old, let's say. And that was just because I understood, okay, search engine optimization. I missed the mobile wave, for example, because I didn't understand until the iPhone released and stuff like that. But you don't have to be around every wave, okay? You don't have to be a social media wave person. You don't have to be an app person, or let's say a person who does blockchain person. There's so many other stuff happening. So you just have to have one thing correct. And so in the AI space, because we're so deep into it, we're doing it every single day, this stuff, and every single hour even, I can tell you for sure, one thing that is clear right now is that if you have a particular task you want to do, let's say you want to publish on YouTube, or you want to publish on Amazon Kindle, or let's say you want to create a storybook, or you want to create a video or a song, or whatever the task might be, if AI can do it 99 to 100% close to what a human can do, then you win the game. Okay. And not only win the game today, but you're going to win the game for the next 10 years. Where the problem is coming is somebody should come and tell you only focus on that, whatever, let's say 1% use cases where AI is doing well. Okay, without getting confused on the other 99% where AI is not doing well. And that requires a lot of testing, tweaking, which we're already doing. And that's the reason why we do these live streams as well, to explain to you how important it is to focus on the use case and not get distracted. You will see, you open up on any social media platform right now, you'll see so many influencers talking about AI, like as if they invented it or they're behind some of the inventions behind it. But in reality, when you go deep and you test it, it's complete junk, a lot of hallucination problems, a lot of issues, for example. And what's happening because of that is people are giving up, whether it's companies, organizations, even people like yourself. And then what happens? Somebody figures it out. They realize it's only 1% use case. It's only working for video or voice cloning or lip sync or music generation or let's say images and anything related to that creative task, let's say specifically. Then those are the people you should be paying attention to, because those are the people who are in the trenches actually testing the stuff. Those are the people actually creating stuff and actually putting stuff out there and actually drinking their own Kool-Aid, let's say. And those are the things that you need to spend your time on. Okay, I cannot stress this enough because oftentimes I don't get the opportunity to talk to you folks generally like this. Okay, is that clear? Just let me know in the chat box, because the most important thing you can get out of this beyond that V2 music update we've done and all that cool stuff is understanding that whatever we are doing, you don't want to waste 99% of your time on watching all these videos on AI and what it can potentially do, which may never happen. Okay, let's being honest. Let's say it happened 20 years from now. What's the benefit to us on that? Instead, focus on what it does do today as good as a human can. And for that, you need to say no to 99% things and focus on only 1% things. And we are focused on that 1% things. Okay. That will save you a heck of a lot of headaches, time being wasted, figuring out what to do and stuff like that. Okay. So yeah, you see this right here. The quality of the music is now really, really great. I had my doubts, but not anymore. Perfect point. Okay. This is what I mean to say. And why we could do this is we realized that when we add this music V2 as an example, like we discussed this just now, right? In this application, when we did toggle, and we still give you V1, by the way, if you want to, you can toggle it on and off, as you can see. We did that because some people might like some things V1 used to do better. Anyway, my point is, why did we do it now? Because of this. Let's say if you are a musician, let's say you wanted to churn out music or whatever, but the idea of like sitting there, even when your voice is off, even when you're sick or even you're not doing well, or let's say, sometimes we age, our vocal cords change. So now you cannot produce any songs or whatever. Even let's say for a corporate video, or let's say for any kind of a project you want to create music, you want to make sure that it will be as good as a professional created it. It should be as good as, let's say you buy that music from a royalty-free website or something like that. And so now you can use this for your YouTube videos, you can use it for social media projects, you can use it for anything, presentations, whatever you can imagine. And so that's what we want to do. So now with time, we've improved Clone Voice.AI's music. So now you know for a fact that as a music thing, it's a solved issue for AI. Let me repeat that again. For music generation, it's a solved issue for AI to do. It's only going to get better, right? It's not going to get any worse. And similarly for copywriting and let's say video generation and let's say cloning of a voice or generating audios and stuff like that, well, it's a solved issue too. Like if you look at public library and Clone Voice, all the stuff that we have, creative voices, you need to hire a mimicry artist back in the day, like 5 years ago, 6 years ago, you need to hire somebody who can, change their voice like a vampire aristocrat, let's say, for example. And now, just as good as that mimicry artist or that voice artist, you can do it. It's a solved issue. It's only going to get better, not worse. But unfortunately, it sucks. It's the reality situation. Cancer research, nothing with AI right now in the healthcare and that sort of thing. Nothing yet. Okay. And similarly, there's a lot of discussion on, for example, that AI will basically replace thousands and thousands of manufacturing jobs. Not the case. AI is not doing plumbing work, not doing electricians work, it's never close. Robotics is far behind. I mean, I think we're at least 20 years behind in robotics, I would say. But my point is then that is something you should not waste your time on, correct? So that way you can focus on stuff that it's a solved issue like this. Exactly what I mean, music, for example, so that it'll only get better, not worse. So Anyway, that's the basic idea here that I want to mention to you folks. Now, I do understand um, that sometimes people they come onto these live streams and stuff and they get overwhelmed and stuff like that. For that reason, we do have this tutorials page, like I told you in the top right, CloneVoice.AI/tutorials and other tutorials pages for other applications, where you can go watch step-by-step tutorials, and all the trainings and masterclass replays will always post here. You can always subscribe to the YouTube channel as well if you want to get notifications. But you see, we have all these customer training videos and stuff we post here all the time pertaining to that application. If it's in Video Express, it'll be Video Express tutorials page. Artistly tutorials page. If it's Talking Photos tutorials page. Okay, basic idea. All right. So that said, I do see your questions and stuff are coming in for the benefit of, for the folks who, might want to watch this replay and stuff. So just email our support team at support@CloneVoice.AI. Any issues, whatever you have, it's a beta feature that we released. I hear you create Voice V2. So if you see anything off or whatever, let us know. Okay. Team will be checking it over the weekend as well, by the way. Maybe slightly slower than usual, but we have a team which works even in the weekend. So we'll be happy to check and get back to you. And finally, please do come in and contribute in our Facebook group. It's not just where you have to show up on a live stream or you're compelled to show up. It's there for your benefit, where we do live Q&A like this and answer all your questions. But ultimately, the group is where you can help each other out, and we're always constantly monitoring it. Any feature suggestions and stuff like that, we're always on top of it. And if I could not answer your questions in the chat box, don't worry. What we do after this is we go and we export all the questions that came in, and we basically implement those either as a feature, as a request, or if it's a technical issue, then we let our support team know that, hey, somebody was mentioning this, can you go recreate something, this issue like that and stuff like that. Okay. So don't worry if I couldn't answer your question. That's basically the goal here, because sometimes, when these live streams go long enough, sometimes people get bored or they want to watch it after because it develops into stuff which is covered already 3 or 4 times before earlier on. Correct. So anyway, that said, hope to see you in our next week's live training session. It's going to be exciting stuff. And of course, watch out, as I told you before, for the updates being made to Video Express, Talking Photos. Artistic Talking Photos will be next, of course, and much awaited V3 Talking Photos. And then right after that will be either Click Sites or Video Express, depending on release times. And might be one or the other might come earlier, and then Artistry V7. All of them are scheduled for before the end of the year. Okay. Again, maybe in the holidays we might, not release in specific days, but that's the goal. Okay. That's the goal. So team is busy on that. So watch out for more of these updates coming up. All of them will be for free for existing customers. So not a big deal there. So it's another excuse for you to go grab them. Okay. Over the coming days and weeks and all that kind of stuff. So that said, have a great day everywhere in the world. Use this brand new feature, by the way. Like I said, lip sync is going to be coming next for Talking Photos V3. So meaning the songs generating in this V2 version, you'll be able to do the demos I showed you earlier on. Okay, so the lip sync and stuff is going to be awesome. So it'll all come together as an ecosystem and make every application add value to you. Okay, that's the idea here. Okay, so that said, have a great day everywhere around the world. Have a great weekend. I wish you all the best. Look forward to seeing you on our next training sessions and communicating in our Facebook group as well. Okay. Talk soon. Take care.